boxing scene reimagined.
Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC 329. We have Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor 2, and we are back on a Sunday. It feels nice to be back on the original date where we used to do this. We had to move it to Monday for multiple reasons, but I think we're at a good spot to come back now, and I think Sunday's going to be really good for us, Weezy. So what is up? Feels good to be... Oh, and by the way, we're back on Sundays, but next week will be a Monday because I'll be coming back from Vegas. But other than that, Weezy, we're back on Sundays. We're finally back.
Yeah, it feels good, man. You know, that was the original point of this show, is to give people an early look into the cards. And now we're going to be doing it on Sundays. A little bit less competition in terms of other shows going. And we don't have football starting for a couple months still. So, yeah, we're going to have, this is going to be our new time slot going forward. And we enjoy being here. And it gives people a little bit more time to watch the show and definitely a little bit earlier start to every MMA week, which is a good thing for us.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. But what is up, everybody? Hopefully you guys had a good week off. It's been a wild week off. It's like I'm just ready. I'm ready for these fights. I've been ready since the was it Baku? Since that card ended, I've been ready for 329. So guess I kind of screwed myself looking into the fights early. I've been refreshing odds, waiting for props to come out. I'm just ready for this card. It's a big card. I'll be in Vegas for the card. Won't be going to the fights because the prices are horrible. I mean, the prices are terrible. Last time I checked, Weezy, it was $1,400 for the cheapest ticket in the house. $1,400 for some nosebleeds.
That is brutal. I mean, yeah, and it's in Vegas, so that you never know. They still might sell out at those prices. Do you think they will?
Yeah, it's a McGregor card, and they probably will. People will probably pay the prices.
I mean, if they get away with it, good for them, you know. But like, it's Conor McGregor fight week. We have to enjoy this, you know. The guy, whatever you want to say about what he's done, you know, him and John Jones have certainly had some off the field problems, as we refer to in other sports, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy is like, you know, he's just got this charisma about him. He brings in the casual fans. There's something about him, his confidence, the way that he is on the mic, his style of fighting that just resonates with people. And he's back, Brady. He's back. It took him how many years? 5 years? But he's back. And we get to watch him fight this week. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's go. So I already did a recap of Baku last week. It was a great card. I forget what happened, but I do know it was a great card. It was like one of my best cards of the year, I think, up like 6.5 units. But so we're not going to go into a recap of Baku, but we are going to get into the chat here. We got Acro, first one in the building, saying, let's go. Elijah One, Stat Digger Sundays are fucking back. Let's go. Carrillo in the building, early Stat Diggers. Yes, every Sunday from now on, other than next week. Yes. Or rare occasions. Next week will be Monday, but yeah, Sunday from here on out. Let's go. Sundays for the win. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. We got Mr. Wipeout in the building. We got Daniel Forrest with the $2 donut. Appreciate you, Daniel Forrest, saying, will we see the Patty wig for UFC 329? Hashtag wig fun. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to dig it out. Maybe if I can find it, potentially. So appreciate you, Forrest, for the donut. Maybe I'll bring it out sometime this week. Maybe tonight. I don't know if I can find it tonight. We'll see. We got Canada Chef Chris in the building. Oi, hope all my American friends had a great 250th birthday celebration yesterday. We did. It was good. It was very good. Very fun. Always a good time. Evening, gents. What is up? Put the house on Mexico to advance. I've actually been watching some World Cup this past week. That's how bored I've been this week. Just bored. I've been watching some soccer. We got Daniel saying, thank you, Brady, Uncle Weezy, for the early start time. Chat, pipe at the like button, and subscribe to Underdog using the promo code Agreed. Appreciate that for us. Brady, Uncle Weezy, my dogs. Let's go. Elijah Ellison fight week. Let's go. We get one of the biggest favorites, if not the biggest favorite in UFC history. Gable Steveson minus 300 to all the way Weezy to a book has him at minus 10,000.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Dude, they're disrespecting Elijah Ellison, and we're going to talk about it, Brady. We're going to talk about it later.
How many likes for you to put a tracked unit on Elijah Ellison?
Let's talk about it, because you never know, man. That could be the steakhouse bet of the century.
Oh, my gosh. Does Gable Steveson like steak?
The hamstring on a takedown attempt. You never know, right? Anything could happen.
You never know. You never know. I mean, Elijah Ellison could go for a heel hook again and maybe get it. You never know. You never know. We're finally back. Yes. Stat Dig Sunday. We're back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uncle Weezy's ready to answer his greasy tip. There we go. Wild. I was just starting to look at DK pricing and get a notification that this is starting. Yeah, DK prices got out nice and early too, which I like. Circle. Yeah. Shout out to Michelle Prayer for cashing me and Weezy a nice fight goes to decision bet. Kind of sweat free outside of the first round where Michelle actually got a knockdown. So that was awesome. Connor to pipe or Max to milk? That's the big question this week. One of those two are going to happen. Max to pipe. Sunday's show till football starts. What's up, gentlemen? It's Tracy Cortez fight week. Yes, it is. Brady with his gallon jug of whole milk. It's not whole milk, it's water. Oh, imagine if I had a gallon of whole milk in this heat. That'd be horrible.
I got some nice water here myself, man. This is we got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, we do. We got Dr. Peener in the building. What is up? It's always good to have a medical professional in the building just in case we have some medical questions, which we do here and there. I like Gable this week. Yeah, I'm thinking about me and Weezy might do what do you call that? Like a collab play. And I think we might take Gable Steveson minus 3,000.
Dude, we both like him though, so maybe we collab on Twitter this week and put one unit on Gable to win 0.02 or 0.03 units.
Yeah, I think it's like 0.03. I checked it. It'd be a good bet, man. I think it hits. What's up, fellas? Appreciate your work. Big card. Didn't think we would see Connor again in the UFC. Smash the like for the boys. Yeah, me neither. I went to Vegas a couple years ago. I think it was 2022 or 2023 for International Fight Week, and it was supposed to be McGregor Chandler. So I was actually going to see McGregor in person. I was going to go to the fights, and then Connor pulled out. So going to Vegas again. This time I'm not going to the fights because I can't. I'm not spending $1,400 on tickets. If I'm spending that much on tickets, it better be all you can eat, all you can drink, and I better be getting my dick sucked as well, but by a woman. For $1,400, I need my dick sucked by a woman for $1,400. I mean, that's ridiculous. I can't believe the ticket prices.
Yeah, how do they get away with that, man? That is unbelievable. And that's for the nosebleeds. Like, people who sit in the nosebleeds, they can't afford 14. Like, rich people aren't going and sitting in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
The nosebleeds are for the mouth breathers and for the moops, Brady. That's what we all know. It's the people that are sitting in coach, the first class people don't even want those people breathing the same air as them. That's why there's a curtain on the plane, And I mean, like, those people aren't sitting in the upper deck. So I don't know who they think is going to buy those tickets, but maybe someday somebody will.
Hey, come on. I'm flying coach this weekend, man. Come on. Put some respect.
Yeah, I know. With the rest of the tuberculoids, like you and me, we're part of that. Like it is what it is, man. Like we don't have first class money.
No. If we get more sponsors, maybe we need some more sponsors. But okay, they went down to 900. That's still about 400 too much. I mean, I think the most I've ever paid for a ticket in the nosebleeds was like 400 or 500. Like, nosebleed tickets, they shouldn't be that much. They're nosebleeds, right? Like, come on. Damn. We got MMA _ very our guy Avery in the building saying, guy. Boy, and maybe Avery can catch some more shows because it's back on Sundays. I feel like the Sundays we're gonna see some new characters or maybe some old characters in the building for Sundays.
Unlike us, Avery has got a real job. So, maybe Sunday is going to bring in more people like Avery, that have real jobs that can't do it on Monday night late.
Exactly. Not everybody can be up at like 1 a.m. on a Monday night. Boogie's getting piped, milked, and shaved on site. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. I'm so ready for the stat card, Brady. Let's hear all the strippers about. Come on, or shout, come on. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Also, I thought Max would be minus 500. What is going on? The casual money hasn't even come in yet. Yeah, me and Weezy were kind of talking about that before the show. Like, how low is this line gonna go? How low is it gonna go? What's up, Brady Weezy? What is up? What is up? UFC GOAT in here. Soccer blows. I actually didn't hate it, to be honest. I didn't hate it. Like the stream. Yeah, let's get those likes. Let's try to get at least 100 likes. We're back on Sundays. I think we can get it at least to 100. I'm thinking England wins. Oh, Uncle Weezy, give Johnson some hair advice.
Yeah, well, I don't think Johnson could do what I do because I get like one haircut like every 2 years, Brady. And it came up over this off week. I got a haircut, and now I'm not going to get another haircut for another 2 years or so. So let's just enjoy it while it's, looking good. It's actually looking like it's been cut by a professional, and it has. So we got to celebrate this. It's summer of 2026. That means Weezy gets a haircut.
And we got to celebrate this, Weezy. Shout out to our sponsor, Big Steve MMA, with the $100 dono saying McNuggets and Big Steve celebration. Big ups, Big Steve. And now's a great time to check out the Big Brain MMA Discord using the link in the description below. Big Steve's been hot, Weezy. Big Steve also had a slow start to the year like most people in the community. But these last several weeks, it seems like things are getting back to normal. Fights are finishing again, Weezy. The first month and a half of the year, some weird results were taking place. I got screwed, but the wagons are circling, and Big Steve's on a hot streak. So check him out. Check out the Discord. Not only does it have UFC, has any MMA promotion you can think of, boxing, any sport you can think of. Go check out the Discord for Big Steve, and also go check out his YouTube. The link is in the description below. He already has a breakdown out for the UFC 329 card as well. So big ups, Big Steve, for the dono and the sponsorship, my guy. I got 3.5 units on Connor at plus 247. Well, you get some CLV, man. You definitely get some CLV. This line is coming down big time. Big time. Let's get the chat ripping. Shud Lords and Supreme Leaders Weezy and Brady are giving us their Sunday so we can cash big. Let's get it. 1,400. I want to be full-blown effed by a woman. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. There's still time for Connor to pull out. I think we're going to see him. 1.5 units on Patty plus one. You're getting some CLV, man. Some CLV. Money's coming in on both Patty and Connor. I paid $400 for O'Malley Aljo nosebleeds in Boston and thought that was crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And it is.
1,400. It is crazy. 1,400, but the woman is Priscilla Cachoeira deal.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Brady, what are you doing?
If it's Andrade,
yes, dude, that's a yes, man. You don't get a chance to bang greatness every day, Brady. For 1,400, that's a story you're telling your grandchildren.
Oh, no, I wouldn't tell them that.
Oh, come on. When they're old enough, I mean,
Yeah.
When they're old enough to understand, because sometimes you got to have that talk with your kid. And, now I'm not a parent, so I wouldn't know, but I would think that there are certain mistakes that when you make when you're young, you have to be honest with your kids about it, Yeah,
that's fair. Thank you guys for coming back to Sundays. No problem. Glenn Bond in the building. What is up? Gable to get milked. Hot take. Andre Fiallo got KO. I saw he got subbed. In like the fourth round.
Oh, so maybe he got maybe it was a club and sub.
Probably, but yeah, I was checking that because I saw he was fighting and I was rooting for him. And apparently he lost. So that sucks, man.
That's rough. That sucks, man. He had just gotten that big win in ice fight. Damn it.
Oh, yeah, he'll be back. Yeah. Brady with the Cavs hat, LeBron coming home. That's what they're saying. He might come home or go to the Warriors. We'll find out. Weezy, the haircut looks effing sick. Yes, let's go. Weezy with the cut and dye looking like a young thinker.
God, okay. How dare you, man? There's no dye job in here. There's so much gray hair. It just, you can't see as much of it when it's not tied back because it's right there on the sides, So when you see it, when it's tied back, the gray hair, but when it's down, it actually looks pretty good. And Klaus is the guy who's always busting my balls for being old as hell.
Really?
Yeah, always
Oh,
busting my
he's the guy?
balls. He's saying I'm a grandpa. He's saying I remember World War II. You know,
Really?
I mean, like, yeah, he's always busting my balls for being old, you know, but most people at over 50 years old would kill for a head of hair like this, you know?
Is Klaus the guy that says you're drinking milk, or is that a different guy?
That's a different guy. I don't think Klaus was saying I was drinking milk, but there was definitely somebody that was saying that I drink milk, you know, it's clearly a Paloma, Brady. It's clearly a Paloma.
Clearly.
You know?
We got MMA _ Vary with the $49.99. Appreciate you, Avery, saying Weezy got the hair down and cut. You know the books are heft. God bless Sunday stat diggers and the betters this card. Batista sub, Hammer, big ups, Avery, and he's liking the Batista sub. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that fight later. So big ups, Avery. Good to see you in here, my guy. Hopefully you're doing well. I met your grandma. Patty sub plus 570 worth a shot. Yeah, I like it. It's like plus 700 best price. He's gonna get some opportunities. Thoughts on the ice fight momentum, or thought the ice fight momentum would carry? Yeah, I guess not, man. I guess not. Brady drinks warm milk. No, I do not. There's somebody trying to break into my office. Hopefully it's not Sergey Spivak.
Oh no.
Sergey, is that you? Come on. Doing a show, Sergey. Doing a show. All right. So we talked about the Big Brain MMA Discord. Let's talk about some Underdog. Right now, if you go to Underdog and use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. I'm doing a show, man. I'm doing a promo, man. God. See, this is the problem with the 7 o'clock start time, Wheezy. And when it's 10 o'clock, everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
It's bothering me, but gee, you were trying to break in. Anyway, so yeah, Underdog, check it out. Code DFSBTN. It definitely helps us there. All right, Wheezy, I think that's about it. Did we have anything else we needed to talk about before we get into it?
I don't think so, man. We go over the milking and the piping?
Oh yeah, we can do that real quick. The piping. Wow. To pipe Julius Juicebox Walker on site. Yeah, we nailed it. Well, you guys nailed it. You guys voted for it. Yeah, I mean, that's what we want in a piping, Wheezy. I think that was the most hyped I've ever got after a knockout. I was screaming so loud in my mic that I went back and watched it. It wouldn't even pick up what I was saying.
None of it was coming through. You were yelling so loud.
Which is good, because I was saying some very, very bad things. Very, very bad things about one Eric Nixick and the boys. But yeah, Eric Nixick and the boys did not get the cash. They're over. The milking, you guys crapped the bed here. I mean, you guys voted for Nazim Sadikov to milk Mateus Camillo, and it did not transpire that way at all. He got piped himself, Wheezy.
He sure did. So, that one cost me too. I had Sadikov as the ass shaving of the week. That really surprised me. Thought the stoppage was a little bit quick, but Sadikov just gets hit too much, man.
Yeah, we should have known after he got finished by Farazim. If you get finished by Farazim or like William Gomi, there's something wrong, man. You can't be getting finished by Farazim. So it's something to take note going forward. All right, let's get into UFC 329. Smash the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel. We go live every Sunday now at 7:15 Eastern time. Also been doing the live fight companion. This is going to be the first one that I'm going to be missing, but Weezy will be holding it down with a special guest or two this Saturday. So be sure to keep tuning into the live fight companion as well. All right. Have they switched this bout order around? Have they switched it yet, or is this going to be the first
They
fight?
have not. And that is still considered to be the first fight of the night according to UFC stats. And I think actually it's also on Tapology listed as the first fight of the night, the Durden Costa fight.
Maybe they'll keep the order, because they've had this order for a while, it feels like. But okay, I'm fine with it. This is a great card, a fight to kick off the card. We got Alessandro Costa going against Cody Durden. We got Costa, 30 years old, 5'4" with a 67-inch reach. Cody Durden, 35 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. We got Costa 5 years younger. Durden with a 3-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. Costa is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. A decision loss against Steve Erceg, a knockout win against Kevin Borjas, a knockout loss against Alden Correa, a knockout win against Stuart Nickel, and a knockout win against Matt Schnell. As far as Cody Durden, 1-4 in his last 5 fights, a decision loss to Josh Levan, knockout loss to Jose Ochoa, submission loss against Alon Nascimento, decision loss against Naim Jargal, 2-minute to barrel, and then a decision win against Jafel Philly was like a plus 500 underdog. So it's weird, Weezy. Cody Durden's usually been the one that's taken these fights on short notice. Now it's going to be Alessandro Costa taking this on short notice. It was supposed to be Cody Durden versus Ode Osborne, which would have been a really good fight. And I was really upset when they announced that it was off. But I think this is the perfect replacement. I think it's going to be a very fun fight here. What are your thoughts on the first fight of the card?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. And like you said, usually Cody's taking it on short notice, but now it's Costa. This is a 5-week turnaround for Alessandro. So if you want, I'm sharing my screen with you, Brady, here. I've got these, obviously these presentations for every fight. We won't do them for every fight, but what I'm seeing in this one here is that Alessandro Costa is going to be 5 years younger than Cody Durden. I mean, that's obviously a big advantage. And he's got a lot more momentum. If we were to look at way ahead into the presentation here, you see Costa, he's won 3 of his last 4 fights. Win over Schnell, win over Stuart Nickel, win over Kevin Borjas. He lost to a tough opponent in Steve Urseg, and then got knocked out in round 3 by Alden Correa after hurting his toe between at the end of round 2. And then he clearly didn't want to keep going. He was, I don't know how bad the injury was, but it was kind of a bad look because he was trying to quit on the stool between rounds, but maybe the foot injury was worse than what I thought it was. But obviously when you're winning 3 of 4, taking a fight on short notice against a veteran opponent, the momentum and career trajectory is looking pretty good. While when we look at Cody Durden, you see here that even though he's coming off of a win, prior to that, he's on a 4-fight losing streak. And I think he's lost 6 of his last 8 fights. Oh. So obviously at 35 years old in the flyweight division, even though he's coming off a win, I would say that the momentum and career trajectory are headed in the wrong direction for Durden while they're headed in the right direction for Costa. And whenever we see that, Brady, it's usually an indication that we're going to get a pretty wide line in favor of the younger fighter with more momentum. And this fight is no different. And then obviously, when you look at the submission grappling, we've seen Alessandro Costa go 6-0 to the submission as a pro, while Durden is 6-5 to the submission. Cody Durden, 4 submission losses at the UFC level, 1 outside the UFC. And we know that Costa is a pretty opportunistic submission grappler. He hasn't shown a ton of it at the UFC level. But there's also a lot of reasons to like Cody here. Because with Cody, you're getting the fighter that's 3 inches taller. He's a southpaw. Excuse me. He's got the overall and UFC experience advantages here. He's got 8 more fights as a pro. He's got 9 more fights at the UFC level, about 100 more minutes in the UFC octagon. When you look at strength of schedule, I got Costa ranked number 43 out of 54 in the division. Well, I've got Cody ranked 20th. And Cody's wins rank better than Alessandro Costa's wins at this level. So we got a strength of schedule advantage as well on the Durden side. And when we look at the ROI profile, Costa over 7 UFC fights has a negative ROI of 20%, while Durden's got a positive ROI of 22%. So I've got Cody as the guy that's done a better job of outperforming the betting market's expectations. And, Alessandro's taken this fight on a couple of weeks' notice. He's making a 5-week turnaround. And this is going to be his 3rd fight, Brady, over the last 3+ months. So, excuse me. He's been really active lately, and he's making a quick turnaround. So this could potentially be too much activity too soon for Alessandro Costa. And then I think that Cody's going to be the better wrestler in this fight. That's more capable of winning minutes with takedowns and top time. I think the distance striking exchanges are going to be close, but wherever this fight goes, I think Costa's got more power on the feet. I think he's got more moment winning upside with his submission grappling while the fight is on the ground. So I think that he's got more moment winning upside. But if Costa doesn't find that moment, I think Cody's going to be live to win minutes on the feet. I think he's going to be live to get takedowns and win minutes and bank rounds potentially with top time and duration. So I can see a path for Cody in this fight if he can avoid the big moments on the ground and on the feet that Alessandro Costa tends to bring. And you can unshare the screen now, Brady, but that's what I'm seeing here. You know, I'm kind of seeing this being the moments of Costa versus the minutes of Cody. And Cody's coming off of a win, cashing as a giant underdog. So maybe he's not the worst dog to back this week.
Yeah, and not for me personally. I actually thought the line would be wider. Not saying like Costa's a guy I want to lay minus 300 on, but I kind of thought he would be around there. But he's only minus 255. Yeah, that Korea fight was a bad look. He was the first person to ever lose by pinky toe TKO. And I do think he's chinny as well. But I also think, you know, Durden's kind of past it. Like you said, he has like one win in his last like 7-ish fights. I think the durability is waning. Like he got hurt by Alon Nascimento, and the sub defense has never really been great. So I just think wherever this fight goes, I agree. I think it's minute winner for sure. I think for sure it's minute winner versus moment winner because Costa's a crap minute winner, dude. He barely throws anything, and he's not going to wrestle. So I agree with that. But I also think that wherever this fight goes, Durden's going to be putting himself in danger because on the feet, like this guy Costa does have a lot of power for the flyweight division, and he's also a legit BJJ black belt. So, yeah, I could see a Durden decision or like a Costa knockout or a Costa club and sub at some point. So, yeah, maybe like a Durden decision only could be a good look, and I think it will for sure be plus money because he's a big dog. But I think Costa, like a KO or sub in the first 2 rounds, is also pretty much on the table. Very interesting fight there. Batista is my favorite play on the card. I think he's live for a finish too. Cody Durden is such a jobber. Come on, man. This guy just won as a plus 500 underdog. Come on. Let's put some respect on Cody Durden. Fade Durden off of a win. Cody Durden fight week. Yeah, every time this fight's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a very fun fight. Durden doesn't stand his base. Yeah, he does. This guy's a marauder, Cody Durden.
You got to stand your base, though, Brady. I don't want to interrupt you, but you have to stand your base. This is a Conor McGregor card, so we would be stupid if we didn't mention that.
Agreed. Costa versus Durden fight completes 1 round. Costa money line and even Costa decision. I kind of like Costa finish, but because he just doesn't do anything. Costa all day, don't overthink it. Costa by KO. I ain't convinced Cody is not washed. Yeah, I mean, that was a great upset win, but I don't know. Philly just looked bad. Like, I don't know if Philly was hurt or what. Philly looked awful in that fight. It was a horrible look. He wheezes age like fine wine and pulls the best cougars. There you go. Is Cody Durden the worst fighter at American Top Team? I don't know. I'm taking Penis. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
I love Penis. Oh, my goodness.
Sure.
Cody's been washed for 9 years. I don't know about 9 years. I think when he's first started. Yeah, it's not 9 years. I mean, he came into the UFC in 2020, so I think he's not been washed for 9 years. Sorry, guys. StreamYard's being slow. There we go. Costa rounds 1 or rounds 2. I could really go for some Penis right now. Oh my gosh.
We'll be talking about him soon.
Costa blast Durden up to Brady's nosebleed seats. Oh god. I wonder what the the finish props can be for this fight because Costa's not that big of a favorite. The over-under set at 1.5. That's kind of gross. I mean, it's a flyweight fight. Jeez. The over 1.5 minus 185. The under 1.5 is plus 161. I will not be betting the under there. Durden's job in the UFC is to show up and lose. Oh, guys, come on. Brady and Weezy, please don't let this amazing upcoming card distract you from the fact that Nazim Sadikov is a bona fide scrub, a bum of the highest order. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, I mean, if you get knocked out by, Faraz Ziam and Mateus Camilo, we got a problem. Yeah. We got a problem. Cody decision only could definitely lose, but great way to play this. I think it could push. I don't know if it could lose. Brady, I'm here for the big penis. Did I miss it? You did not miss it yet.
Yeah.
Catching Cody's tooth in the nosebleeds. Oh, gosh. We'll see. All right. Moving on to the next fight. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. We have Ryan Gondra going against Zach Reese. We got Gondra, 31 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. We got Zach Reese, 32 years old, 6'4" with a 77-inch reach. We got Gondra 1 year younger. Zach Reese with a 3-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Gondra 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Jose Medina and won that fight by first-round knockout. Also knocked out Trent Miller on the Contender Series. As far as Zach Reese, he is 2-2 and 1 no contest. A knockout loss to Azamat Pakov. A decision win against Dusko Todorovic. No contest against Dricus. Submission win against Jackson McVeigh, and then a decision loss against Michelle Pereira. This is an ugly one, Wheezy. I don't know how I feel about Ryan Gondra just yet, because you go back and watch this guy's fights from he started his MMA career right in 2022 is when he went pro. If you go back and watch those fights, he looks awful.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks terrible. He doesn't even look like a fighter. Like, he looks really bad. But it looks like he's looks like a completely different fighter nowadays. So I think he's improving kind of at a rapid rate. And this is a fight where a lot of money's coming in on Zach Reese to the point where this line actually might flip. Reese is all the way down to plus 107. He was as high as plus 180. And I get it to an extent. There's a lot of reasons to like Zach Reese. He's going to be the much bigger fighter, much more experienced, much more proven cardio. He's been to decision. He's won decisions. The much more proven grappler. He's fought the much better competition by a mile. There's a lot of reasons to like Zach Reese, but at the same time, what I don't like about Reese is how hittable he is, how chinny he is. He's getting hurt in pretty much every single fight by everybody. And Ryan Gondra is, whether he's, good or not, he's going to come forward and he's going to throw them dukes, and he's going to throw them dukes hard. So I kind of think it's Gondra KO1. And if not, it's going to get greasy. It's going to get very greasy down the stretch. This is borderline like a 1-800-GAMBLER type fight. Both these guys kind of, what do you think about this one, Weezy?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen here, and if you notice the title page of this, you see Ryan Gondra listed as a minus 193 favorite, and I just made these presentations a couple of days ago. So obviously there's a ton of money coming in on Zach Reese here, and I think that's basically kind of correct, just based on, we don't know anything about Gondra still at this point. He had a couple of really good fights in LFA where he looked great, and then he looked phenomenal against Jose Medina, which you need to look phenomenal against that dude. Even Zach Reese didn't look that great against him, but he still dominated Medina for the whole fight. So, I mean, to see this kind of number is a little bit weird, but now I think the number is coming a little bit closer to even, and it's because we know more about Zach. Ryan's 1 year younger, but you see that the measurables advantages are all on the Zach Reese side. 3 inches taller, 3-inch reach advantage, switch stance fighter versus an orthodox. Zach Reese has more pro experience. He's got a lot more UFC experience, and with that UFC experience is going to come a strength of schedule advantage. Ryan Gondra has faced one guy in the UFC, and that dude's record is 0 wins and 4 losses. Now, Zach Reese hasn't faced the best guys at the UFC level, but at least you look at the opponent's records, and they're 29 and 38. So it has him in the weak area of strength of schedule. But, I mean, if you look at the names, right, Zach Reese is fighting Bakoyev, Todorovic, who's got a lot of fights, S.D. Dumas, who's not only winning UFC fights, Brady, he's beating court cases as well. Jackson McVeigh coming off of a win. Michelle Pereira, a UFC veteran. But if we look at Gondra, you're getting Jose Medina, Trent Miller, and then some guys that aren't really very recognizable, but he's finishing these guys. He's doing what he's supposed to do against that level of competition. But with Zach Reese, you were getting somebody that has that overall in UFC experience advantage. He has 4 more fights at the UFC level and the strength of schedule advantage. And you could stop sharing the screen now. But the question is how is this one going to play out? Or I'll put it back on because you're not there. How is this one going to play out on the feet? How is this one going to play out in the grappling exchanges? Who's the better offensive and defensive wrestler here? Who's got the better Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Who's even got the better striking? I don't know if we have the answer to those questions because we just don't know what to expect from Ryan Gondra, who's been running through a lot of lower level guys. And now he's getting somebody that's got a pretty good Brazilian jiu-jitsu game. He's got decent power on the feet, and he's got a lot more experience, and he's been a lot more tested at this level. So, I mean, I think it's an interesting fight, but I kind of feel like the line is where it should be right now. And now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Brady, because I don't think that we know enough about Gandra to be laying juice on him yet at this level, but we do know enough about Zach Reese to kind of say that, like, we don't want to just be blindly backing this guy against less experienced fighters, because he's got some holes. You know, he's not the best offensive and defensive wrestler. He is a bit chinny. And his ability to be able to win minutes over extended stretches is definitely a little bit in question, but so is Gandra, because Gandra is relying on early finishes in order to get the job done. So I guess we're going to find out. Is it going to be friend of the show, Ryan Gandra, who I had a 1-unit bet against, you know, in the last fight, thanks to our beautiful audience that just loves seeing me lose units. So, but I shouldn't have said that I would make that bet anyway, because that's what got everyone to like the show. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be Gandra maybe early, but if the fight, like you said, if it gets past round 1, I think Reese is going to be very live to win the minutes and bank the rounds for the second half of the fight.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. You know, Gandra, if I'm betting Gandra, I'm just betting like the KO1, you know, simple as that. And I don't know, like, I haven't been impressed with Reese, like, ever. Like, all these fights, like even the Jax McVay fight, it looks like he was about to get finished in round 1 with the knees in the clinch and the elbows. And, you know, the Dumas fight was a no contest. The Dusko fight sucked. The Medina fight sucked. Got KO'd by Brundage and Bakov. The most impressive performance actually was against Julian Marquez when he knocked him out in 20 seconds. Other than that, it just kind of looked bad. So, yeah, don't like the strike and defense, the chin of Reese. But, yeah, if it gets extended, there's a good chance he just has the better cardio down the stretch. So it's a weird one. If I was betting a Reese, I would rather live bet him, because there's a really good chance he gets sparked, because Gondor's just going to come forward and try to take his head off. So what I find very weird, though, Weezy, is this total. It's set at 1.5, and it is juiced to the tits at minus 185. And it's like who's Zach Reese finishing? Like, Zach Reese took Dusko Todorovic to decision. And I get Medina's tough, but you shouldn't be like finishing Jose Medina. Like, he stinks. Like, I'm surprised, like minus 185 for the under 1.5. Does that surprise you as well? I get Gandra, like, if he's winning, it's probably early, but he's only minus 120 now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think both of these guys actually do have finish upside early in the fight. But when you look at a number like minus 185 and you ask, what does that really mean when you look at how it compares to the divisional average? And the answer is that you're paying 65% of implied probability at minus 185, but only 39% of middleweight fights go under 1.5 rounds. So you're overpaying the benchmark by about 26% here. That's a lot, considering that 3 of Zach Reese's 8 UFC fights have went over 1.5 rounds. So because of that, I think you might be overpaying just a little bit at plus 185 or minus 185.
I was surprised.
That's a big number.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez. Zach Reese TK'd by a gust of wind. Yeah, I was watching this guy's fights. It's like he got dropped twice by Pereira. He was getting hurt bad by McVay. He even got rocked by Dusko at one point. Got knocked out by Bakoa brutally. Slam KO'd by Brundage. It's like he's chinny. So there's going to be some opportunities for Gondor early, but you know, I don't know if Gondor's going to have success out of 5 minutes or even like after a couple minutes even. So very weird fight. Zach Reese is a junkie. I don't know about that. I ain't laying juice on another Zach Reese under. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
How are people going to say this fight sucks when both these guys have a win over the legendary JDM? That's true. That's very true.
Point.
Yeah. I want to bet Reese, but this Brazilian's a scary dude, and Brazil just got eliminated from the World Cup. They're pissed. That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Gondra KO1, don't overthink it. Yeah, if you're playing Gondra, you just play like a KO1 or something. Maybe it'll be a good number. Hey, guys, I'll be at the fights. What section are you in? You flex it on us, man? I'm not going to the fights. the tickets are too expensive. They're like $1,400 for the cheapest ticket. So I will not be at the fights, unfortunately, unless something crazy happens. Reese has had the better opponents by like 1%. In Dusko, McVeigh, and the corpse of Michelle Pereira, and went life and death with those guys and nearly finished in all those fights. Yeah, I don't know. I think Zach Reese is a little bit overrated, but Gondra is a complete unknown is the problem. I feel like I would need a better price on Reese to take him. Yeah, this line's been smashed. A lot of sharp people are on the Reese side for sure. Ryan Gondra is the same exact fighter as that bum, Guilherme Pat. No, he's not. Nobody's as bad as Pat, man. Pat doesn't do anything. Pat does nothing. We can't compare Gondra to Pat. Gondra actually goes for it. Pat, I don't think I've ever seen Pat throw a strike. Have you, Easy?
Yeah, he barely throws it all. And Gondra is going to bring like a ton of volume and pressure and really try to kill you.
Yeah. Parlay McKinney and Stevenson under for free money. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you started so. Now I'm late. You flipped this. We flipped the script, man. We flipped it up. Gable Stevenson is a drum, dude. Would you say that to his face, though? Would you say that to his face? I don't know. I don't know if you'd say that to his face, though. The fight's going to be epic. We got 62 likes. There we go. Let's get to 100. Let's get to 100 likes. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be, oh gosh. We got Damian Penis going against Cesar Almeida. We got Penis, 24 years old, 6'1" with a 79-inch reach. We got Cesar Almeida, 38 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Penis is 14 years younger, got the same height and a 5-inch reach advantage. We got Penis, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, all by knockout. Had a knockout against Vitor Costa on the Contender Series, and then knocked out Party Time Wes Schultz in his UFC debut. As far as Cesar Almeida, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He had a knockout win against Dylan Budker in the second round, a decision loss against Roman Kopylov, decision win against Ihor Peteria, knockout win against Abdulrazak Alassane, and then a decision loss to Cezary Olazechuk. So I've been saying it, since this guy on the Contender Series. Like, I'm a big fan of Penis. I really like Penis. This guy's only 24 years old. This guy has a ton of power in his hands. Probably like one of the hardest hitters in the division. Like, this guy can knock out a horse. But he's only 24. He still has a lot to prove, in terms of the grappling. And it wasn't really tested against Wes Schultz because Schultz, I don't know if it looked like Schultz was on like drugs in that fight. Like, it was a horrible performance by Wes Schultz. I don't know what he was doing. I kind of thought we might find some answers in terms of his grappling in the Schultz fight, but not really. Like, Schultz was kind of just like pulling guard. Like, I don't know. I didn't get that. But yeah, and then the cardio, we haven't really seen him extended much. He's been in the second round, but I don't think he's ever been to decision or even seen a third round has Penis. So a lot to, still need to be proved for Penis. But yeah, he's a very, very hard hitter. And I think this fight's very interesting because when you look at Cesar Almeida, people are trying to, hump his leg. This guy has a kickboxing background. I think over 50 kickboxing fights, including like 3 against Alex Pereira, where he actually beat Alex Pereira one of the times. He's never been knocked out between kickboxing or MMA, but he is 38 years old, and he has been hurt a couple times. He got hurt and dropped by Kopylov, hurt and dropped by Abdulrazak Alassane. So I'm worried about the age. I think the durability is on a decline, and he's going against Penis here. So what I think is going to be so awesome about this fight is, both these guys are probably going to stand and bang. Damian Penis is not a wrestler. He's a striker. Cesar Almeida, he actually has, some grappling. He showed off on the Contender Series, but he's a striker. So I think these guys are going to probably stand and bang here. I think they're going to swing dicks, and I think it's going to come down to who has the bigger dick. And I think it might be Penis. So Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight? It's a really very intriguing one here.
Yeah, it is. It's a striker versus striker matchup here where Damian is going to be 14 years younger and have a 5-inch reach advantage, and he's got the momentum advantage. He's on a 5-fight win streak. All those wins are by knockout, while the 38-year-old Cesar Almeida, he's coming off of a loss, and he's only 2-2 over his last 5 fights, or last 4 fights. So the momentum and the career trajectory both favoring Damian here. But for Almeida, he's got more combat sports experience. He's got 4 more fights and 50 more minutes of UFC experience than Damian does. And then he's got 4 more fights at the UFC level, and he's fighting the more experienced brand of UFC competition, and that's got Caesar ranked a lot higher in my strength of schedule rankings. So I don't see either guy really winning any minutes with the grappling. I think both guys have minute and moment winning upside at distance striking range. But the big difference here is in age and reach. Then that's going to be on the Damian Pinas side. So I don't know, man. Like, I think that this is like a 50-50 fight. I don't care if Cesar Almeida is 38. He's the better striker here. I mean, Damian might prove to be the better striker, but who is he really proven that against? You know, I mean, like, beating up Wes Schultz on the feet, it doesn't really mean much. I mean, the guy that he beat on Contender Series, I think he's gotten a win since, but he's also, you know, he also got absolutely destroyed in that fight. So I think you got to watch out for the straight right hand of Pinas. He throws a 1-2 down the pipe, and that's how he knocks people out. But Cesar Almeida's got numerous ways to knock you out, and he's easily one of the most durable guys in the division. The guy has literally never been knocked out amongst God knows how many combat sports fights that he's been out there against a much better brand of competition. You know, yes, he was knocked down by Abdul Razak Al Hassan, but that dude's got a 100% finish rate in his wins. And also, Almeida is a guy that we've known has never been knocked out, so the durability has been proven, but his offensive skills are just as good as Damian's as well. The leg kicks could be a problem here. The ability to switch stances could be a problem here. There's a lot of things I think that Almeida is going to be able to keep this fight a lot closer than people think he will. And the only guys that are really having success against Almeida are grappling him. You know, so like even Roman Kopylov, who's a very tested and very high-level UFC striker with a ton of KO power, chose to grapple against Cesar Almeida because he knew that if he stayed standing for extended stretches against this guy, that it would probably cost him. And it's not because Cesar's the best offensive striker. It's because this guy can take big shots and keep coming back at you, and he's got a great ability to counter strike. So that durability and that pinpoint counter striking sets up an ability for him to be able to win moments in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the line's wide. You know, I think, you know, skill for skill, you know, they're probably very close. Like I said, if not, Almeida's the better striker, but I gotta favor Pinas, you know, just based off of, I mean, 14 years advantage there. I mean, that's no joke. And on top of that, Almeida has like a ton of tread on the tires, a ton, like over, I think it's like over 60 fights or maybe 65 fights between kickboxing and MMA. So, yeah, I think Pinas is a slight favorite, makes sense, but you know, there's some hype on him, so he's not gonna be a slight favorite. He's minus 210 here, and Almeida's plus 180. The over-under is set at 1.5. The over 1.5 is minus 130. The under 1.5 is plus 110. It's an interesting one. Pinas typically does go under, but Almeida's neither guy's been knocked out. So I don't know if I'm gonna touch a total on this one. Don't know if I'm gonna bet this one in general, but I do lean Pinas. I think he has the bigger dick. I think these guys are going to swing dicks. I think the durability of Almeida is waning for sure. And this guy hits I think this guy hits harder than Kopylov. And I think he might hit harder than Al Hassan. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, I'm taking Pinas. I love me some Pinas. Yep. I like this guy. I don't like this. I wish they would have given like, who could they have given him? Like some bum they could just go out there and knock out. But yes, Cesar Almeida, if he knocks out Cesar Almeida, that's gonna be a huge feather in his cap, because even like Alex Pereira couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Chat, let's see those what? Big fan of Pinas. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I like Cesar here. If it stays striking, I mean, it should stay striking. How many inches of advantage does Pinas have in this one? I think it's a 5-inch reach advantage.
5.
Yeah, 5 inch.
Yeah,
5-inch reach advantage. We need to see Pinas grow. He's still young. That's true. He's got a lot to prove. Pinas, stand up. Stand up. Brain Uncle Weezy, can you look up the odds on Pinas by decision? Well, there's no odds on the decision, but the over 1.5 is minus 130 here, which I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, because these guys are gonna like swing dicks, and both these guys have a ton of power, but both these guys have also never been knocked out, so it's kind of a weird one. Pinas pipes, going to be hard to beat Pinas. Oh, gosh. The strength of schedule is a huge difference. Big Steve also said he's quite fond of some penis. Okay, so our sponsor, Big Steve, might like some penis this week as well. Penis about to go hard as a mother effer. Penis for piping of the week. That makes sense. That makes sense. Come on, Almeida, survive the penis. Penis is bigger and longer. Is he? No, he's the same height, but he's definitely longer for sure. Definitely longer for sure. He's aging though, and penis is youthful. Yeah, 14-year age advantage is crazy. I see Almeida being a popular dog, and it's possible. Parlay killer, it could be, man. These guys are gonna stand and bang. I want to watch Caesar spank penis. What? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with the chat? How's penis is cardio when he's really hard? What?
Come on, guys. Hard. Yeah, we're gonna find out maybe.
Come on, stand up. Stand up. I want to remind everyone that in the Al-Hassan fight, Almeida was one punch away from a round 1 KO loss to Abdul Al-Hassan. Are we overrating this guy's striking? I think we probably are, man. I mean, I'm not extremely impressed. Like, that Pateria fight sucked. I mean, if you're, like, legit, you should be. I mean, imagine what penis would do to Ihor Pateria. So I think he's a little bit overrated, but, you know, you can't completely sleep on the guy. All right, let's move on. Oh, who's that? Is that what's his face? What was that?
I can't. Is that Jamal Hill and like
what?
And Bonfim? It's two different pictures.
That is Hamdi Abdelwahab, it looks like.
Oh, Hamdi. Okay.
You said Jamal Hill? What?
I thought maybe Jamal Hill on the left, you know, pre huge gut.
Oh. I don't know.
Jamal Abdelwahab. That's what it is.
I don't even see Jamal. That's wild. So it's Hill and Hamdi combined. Wow. I can't even see it. Maybe I got to take a closer look. It is.
I think it's Jamal.
You have some good eyesight. You have some good eyesight there.
Yeah, 52-year-olds usually do. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. That's hilarious. I had to look like very closely to see it's Hill. That's amazing. So it's Jamal Abdelwahab. That's hilarious. All right. So let's move on to the next fight. We talked about penis. Now it's time to talk about some Wong. We got Tracy Cortez going against Wong Kong. They call her Wong Tong.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm not doing that. I'm not calling this bitch Wong Tong, man. I'm just not. We're going to call her Wong Kong. We got Cortez, 32 years old, 5'5" with a 65-inch reach. Wong Kong, she is 34 years old, 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. We got Cortez, 2 years younger. Cortez with a 1-inch height disadvantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Cortez is 3-2 in her last 5 fights. A decision win against Melissa Gatto. Decision win against Jasmine Jazz DeVicious. Decision loss against Rose Namajunas. Decision win against Viviane Araujo. Submission loss to Erin Blanchfield in her last fight out. As far as Kong Wong, 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She knocked out Victoria Leonardo in the first round. She got submitted by Gabriela Fernandez. She beat Bruna Brazil, Ariana De Silva, and Eduardo Mara by decision. So I broke this fight down probably like 2 weeks ago at this point. And I knew for a fact that Cortez would be a dog just because Kong Wong, like, she's always a big favorite. Like, the market really loves her. I mean, look at some of these price tags next to her name. I mean, minus 1,000, minus 1,300, minus 600, minus 360. So I knew for a fact that Cortez would be the dog, and I thought she'd be a very live dog. But Weezy, she's not really the dog anymore. It's about a pick'em, which is kind of annoying. And I do like Cortez here. The only concern I have about Cortez is whether or not she gives a crap anymore, because I'm kind of getting like doesn't give a crap vibes. Like, there was rumors that she was going to retire. She looks kind of like uninterested in there. Like the Rose fight wasn't a great look. And obviously she got ran through by Aaron, but yeah, kind of don't love how she's looking there nowadays, but stylistically, like, I love the matchup for her. She's going against Kong Wong, who's a good kickboxer, who I kind of think is a little bit overrated, but yeah, she's good. She's a good kickboxer, but it's the ground game that's just so bad. Like, she has such a bad ground game. It's like, you know, take out the Fernandez fight where she got club and sub, you know, it's just, that's fine. But the Mora fight, it's like she was making some of the like rookie mistakes against Eduardo Mara. It looked like she bet the submission prop, but Mara was too tired to submit her. Like, she went on her hands and knees and did the Alexander Romanov where she literally lifted up her neck and let Mara choke her out. I'm like, what are you doing, Wong Kong? Like this is, I had to hit up Dan and say, can we get Kong Wong some free classes at your beginners jiu-jitsu class at Team Octopus? I mean, she was making some of the some of the most rookie mistakes you'd ever see. So her grappling's horrible. So Cortez should be able to, get takedowns here. And if one takedown equals the round or maybe even the fight, like Kong Wong could be so bad on the ground that Tracy might even get her first finish here. That's how bad she is. So, so I like Cortez. I wish I had more faith in her, like the mentality and stuff, but stylistically, I love the matchup for her. And I wish the line didn't, go to a pick, and would have been nice to get Cortez at plus money, and I didn't. So don't have a bet on this fight yet. I'm hoping more money comes back in on Wong Kong. And if Cortez gets back to plus money, I think it's got to be a bet. I mean, I think Cortez can hang in the striking, and I think the grappling's like not even close. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight here?
Yeah, I mean, you were saying that you're worried about Tracy Cortez, that she might not give a shit anymore. And let me just ease your concerns, because I don't think she ever gave a shit. I mean, Tracy never shows up more than once a year to fight. She only seems to want to fight during International Fight Week. But she's 6-2 in the UFC, and the only fighters that have beaten her are Rose Namajunas and Erin Blanchfield. And I think it's important to note that she took the Rose Namajunas fight on less than 2 weeks' notice at Elevation in Denver, Colorado, which is where Rose trains. So, like, she was already used to the Elevation there. And then the Erin Blanchfield fight, she got subbed in the second round, but she easily won the first round of that fight. So it took Blanchfield 2 takedowns in round number 2. The first one she wasn't able to do anything with, but it was the second one that allowed her to get to a strange angle where she was able to finish with the rear naked choke. But this is a fight that I think might actually look really easy for Tracy Cortez, because the one thing that we haven't really seen from Kong Wang, I mean, you look at the names. Victoria Leonardo is terrible. Gabriela Fernandez has no grappling, like no wrestling. She's got a Brazilian jiu-jitsu game, which she was able to use after she hurt her. Bruna Brasil's terrible. Ariane De Silva, ever since she stopped being Ariane Lipski, is terrible. And Eduardo Mora, I mean, just had Kong Wang finished there on the mat and was unable to finish a rear naked choke while she had both hands on the ground, literally not fighting the hands, and she found a way to like slip off of the side there. Tracy Cortez is by far the best wrestler that Kong Wang has ever fought. When I watched the tape on Tracy this week, I noticed that when she's fighting somebody that she has a grappling advantage over, she wrestles. She's not the type. She's not going to pull a Melissa Mullins on us. She's not going to pull a Corey McKenna on us. She's going to go out there and wrestle this woman. And I think Kong Wang's been overhyped. And I think when you see the level of wrestling that Tracy Cortez has against a Chinese kickboxer, that this might just be like Tracy might run through her, in my opinion. Because the other thing that I think is happening here is that I think people are severely underrating Tracy Cortez's striking, which I think is more than serviceable for this level. I think she's a good boxer. So I don't even think that the distance striking exchanges are going to be that much in favor of Wong. I favor Wong there, obviously, but I don't think she's going to be able to throw a lot of kicks, Brady. What happens when you throw kicks against a wrestler? You get taken down. So now, if you limit her ability to kind of manage range with kicks now because of the wrestling threat of Cortez, I think that this is going to be Tracy. I'm going to bet her this week. She's the side in this fight, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'd like to get her a plus money, though. That'd be cool. Getting a plus money on Cortez. So hopefully
like
more.
Too, yeah.
I mean, what's crazy about this? Like, Cortez opened up as a favorite. I was like, dang, man, really?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. And then she went to the dog instantly. But yeah, I don't like the grappling of Kong Wong for sure. And you said Tracy's never gave a crap. Is that I had to run out for a second?
Yeah, no, she hasn't, Brady. She doesn't fight. She's got, let's see, when did she make her UFC debut? UFC debut November 16th, 2019, Brady. So almost 7 full years in the octagon, and she's fought 8 times. She doesn't fucking care.
Okay, so that makes me feel better. So she's never cared.
He's never cared. So just remember that this fight is no different than any of the other ones. She still doesn't give a shit.
Okay, I like that. I like it. We got Dan from Half the Battle, Stat Diggers on a Sunday. We are so back. We are back. Good to see you in here, Dan. This line has actually been going back and forth. Open Tracy Fave, bet to the dog, bot back to Pick'em, I believe. Yep, it's going to be interesting to kind of see where this line goes. Back to the drum board, yes. And Dricus did come out with a tweet today. What was that tweet? He said,
I actually sent it to you. Yeah, dude, I actually got somebody in my Discord to translate it for me because it wasn't written in English like most of Dricus's tweets aren't. But I'm gonna read it for you right now, Brady.
Let's hear it.
Let's go. Well, my car was dropped. After spending over $40K for everything, I lost my house and family and my money, but God made a way for me to be blessed. Now I'm looking for sponsorship because I need to get back on my feet and etc. Some many people laugh at me, but I was facing 35. So I thought that he was having car problems, right?
Yeah.
That maybe like the transmission dropped out of the car and it cost him $40K because his mechanic was lying to him and he fell for it. But evidently, after it was translated by somebody in my Discord, it meant that his charges were dropped.
Yep.
And you know, Brady, this is just another example of why the United States is the greatest country in the world. And it's because our justice system works.
You're right, man.
So I'm just leaving it. I'm leaving it at that.
Yeah, I was watching one of his videos. He was on, I think, with Jaden Cable, and apparently he was gonna be facing 35 years, but the charges were dropped. It must have one of the best lawyers in the history of all lawyers. Like this guy.
It's just the justice system working. That's my opinion, but I don't have any of the legal facts of the case. I want to be very clear about that, Brady. And also, I want to be very clear that both of us are not lawyers. Don't ever take law advice from stat diggers. We don't know what we're talking about when it comes to the law.
Yeah, but Dricus's lawyer does for sure. Maybe we could get his lawyer to sponsor the show.
Maybe that would be pretty sweet. Well, I mean, he's got money.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out to Dricus's lawyer. Got him off 35 years. Jeez. I think the smart play is the over. Yeah, I mean, every Cortez fight goes over outside of the Blanchfield fight. It's minus 270 though. I'm hoping that she learned something from American. Did Kong go to American Top Team?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know that. I still have her listed at parts unknown because I literally could not find where she was training.
Kong has definitely been training grappling with Junior Toff and Esteban Rubix. Yeah,
yikes.
I mean, so down. Definitely not betting Tracy. I haven't bet her yet, but if she gets back to plus money, I will. Tracy fades. Yeah, sometimes, not really. Tracy's a homie hopper. That she is. That can't be denied. And Wong doesn't finish. She finished a Victoria Leonardo, and nobody does that, Weezy.
Yeah, I mean, who's ever done that to her?
Nobody.
You got to put some respect on Kong Wang's name.
Nobody does that. Cortez moneyline plus 115. Cash that COV.
Nice
good. I like it. Penis by KO. Wong is overrated. Look at her last win. Cortez might even finish her. That's what I thought. Like Cortez might even get her first finish in God knows how long. Like Cortez
I was
might
thinking
finish
the
her.
exact same thing, man.
I mean, Cortez finish might be like something like plus 600 or plus 700. I don't know. How do you manage to get finished by Gabriela Fernandez? Wong might be a steakhouse enjoyer. Yeah, she was like minus 1,000 there or something. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah. Yep, prayers up for Dricus. Agreed. I don't think they have the wiki feed score of Wong, man. I mean, if they do, that'd be surprising. Let's see. Kong Wong. That's a good question, though. Oh my! I guess I searched her in a past fight, Weezy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it showed up on my recent searches. No, Kong Wong is not on wiki feed, so that's gonna be hard to I know Cortez definitely is. Humbling. Oh my gosh, 215 photos, 4.85 Weezy. Just adding to another reason to take Cortez here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that even if we did have pictures of Wong's feet, that it probably wouldn't be up on the 4.85 level. That's elite.
Nope. Yeah, these are some good pictures here. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, another reason to maybe like Cortez here. We'll see. We'll see. What were the charges? I don't know. They're probably some bull crap anyway. You know, he's a good guy. I want to divorce my wife, but try to save some money. Maybe I could get some discounted legal advice from stat tickers. There we go.
It'll be discounted. I just can't guarantee that the legal advice would be any value at all.
Oh gosh. I love that you constantly factor in the WikiFeed scores in an MMA pick. Yeah, because you have to, man. You got to. It's a big thing. And Tracy Cortez is a phenomenal rating. Quite frankly, if she wins this fight, she might end up on maybe WikiFeed of the Year award potentially.
Could be
up there with who is that? Luana Santos, who has a
Luana Santos, rating. Alexa Grasso.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's move on to the next fight, and it is going to be Luke Riley going against Kai Kamaka. We got Luke Riley, 27 years old, 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. Kai Kamaka, 31 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. We got Riley, 4 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. Luke Riley, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He made his debut against Bogdan Grad, won that fight by knockout, and then beat Michael Aswell Jr. by decision. As far as Kai Kamaka, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He got cut from the UFC. He came back and beat Dakota Hope by decision in a very fun fight. And I think this is going to be a very fun fight, Weezy. Luke Riley, Kai Kamaka. The line kind of surprises me. I know there's some hype on Riley, but at the end of the day, I think like it's going to be a competitive fight. Like Kai Kamaka may be able to mix in a takedown or two, but I primarily think it's going to take place standing. And yeah, minute for minute, it could be close, but I think the big difference is the power. You know, Luke Riley has a ton of power for the division. Kai Kamaka does not. Kai Kamaka is typically going to decision more often than not. A lot of these fights are close more often than not. So I lean Riley, but I just struggle to get to minus 300. He will actually open at minus 400. So I like Riley here, but I don't really like him at minus 300-ish. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the distance striking numbers that Kai Kamaka has racked up over 5 UFC fights, they're really impressive, actually, dude. Like, he's got a positive 0.85 distance striking differential. The divisional average for accuracy is 40%. Kamaka's landing at a 56% clip at distance, and he's defending at a 64% clip. So a nice positive 0.85 distance striking differential. In addition, Kai Kamaka will attempt almost 3 takedowns per 15 minutes and get more than half of those, and I'll control his opponents 22% to 8%. So I think he can keep the distance striking exchanges close and have some grappling upside here. So I guess it depends on how Kai's striking is going to hold up against somebody like Luke Riley, who's clearly a very good striker, because you know, we've seen him out there against some decent strikers. You know, Kamaka's fought Danny Chavez before, you know, I mean, the Dakota Hope fight was the most recent one since he got invited back to the UFC, but he fought Tony Kelly, who's a good striker, Jonathan Pierce, who's a good striker, TJ Brown, Danny Chavez, and he's outstriking most of these guys at distance striking range. So how much better is Luke Riley than those guys? And I think that obviously the guy's clearly gifted and he's got a ton of power, but he can win minutes at distance striking range as well. So it depends on how much Kamaka is able to kind of mix in the grappling here and look to win minutes with some wrestling. And if he can, you know, threaten enough with the wrestling early, it might slow down the offensive output of Riley at distance striking range in the second half of this fight because he's worried about the takedown threat. So I think there's some reasons to potentially consider playing Kamaka as a big underdog at this particular price, Brady, because he's shown to have UFC level striking against a better brand of competition than Luke Riley has fought against. So, and he's got the grappling upside here to win minutes. And Kai Kamaka, this dude is in nothing but close fights.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So if you're getting plus 250 on a guy that's consistently in 50-50 fights, it feels like he might be the money line side here, but clearly Luke Riley, with that striking, with that swagger that he has, he's got some upside. He's got some hype, and the guy's striking is clearly ready to win minutes and moments at this level. So if he can upgrade the takedown defense, Brady, stuff the takedown attempts here of Kamaka, he probably cruises and maybe even does find a finish here.
Yeah, I mean, Kamaka has 5 fights in the UFC. 4 of them have been 50-50 fights. Kamaka Hope, 50-50 fight. Chavez Kamaka, 50-50 fight. TJ Brown Kamaka, 50-50 fight. Kamaka Tony Kelly, like a 50-50 fight. Pierce ran through him. Pierce did run through him. But yeah, pretty much every single fight he's in is close. So yeah, I lean Riley here, but I'm not going to get to minus 300. The over-under set at 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 200. The under 2.5 is plus 174. Probably going to stay away from this fight. Kai is going to give him the Wahiki sneaky between the cheeky. Okay, so maybe
it's
like a
like
point
when
spread.
Dricus Du Plessis giving him the shimmy.
Yeah, what was he gonna give Jackson McVeigh? Was it the shimmy?
I think it was the shimmy. Yeah, it didn't work out for him, man. He wasn't able to get to the shimmy.
No, and by the way, there's some rumblings that Andre Petrosky called out Dricus Du Plessis on Instagram today or yesterday and tagged the matchmakers. Could you imagine that fight?
I mean, that feels like a desperation move, like somebody out there just looking for a win, like, Dumas, you've been talking all this shit. You're top on my list, and it's just death. It's like, dude, I need a win. Did they re-up Dumas's contract? Because I'm calling his ass out. Like that's what that feels like to me.
It's a veteran tactic right there.
Yeah,
veteran tactic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope Petrosky gets the fight.
Yeah, I could cash in their submission prop potentially. Kamaka, the king of split decisions. Yeah, man. Moments versus minutes. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it as well. They will rob Kamaka blind this time, though. Yeah, for sure. I think if it goes to decision and it's close, they're giving it to Luke Riley. I mean, they're going to give it to the undefeated guy. I'm sure the crowd's going to be behind this guy. People like this guy. Riley and Patty parlay smacking. 2 underdogs I can see upsetting parlays is Almeida and Kamaka. Yeah, I do think the Kamaka fight is going to be close. Brady, I'm telling you right now, judges' scorecards are already pre-written. 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28 for Luke. Yeah, I can see it. Maybe you guys should stop being degenerate gamblers. Ever think of that?
You get out of here. You get the hell out of here. Get out of here. We don't need that kind of negativity in here. You stop being a degenerate loser. How about that, Rick Allen?
Hey, you said
You get the hell out of here.
Yep. Get out, bitch. Get out. That's guaranteed. Yeah, for sure. Aspel looked like cheeks against Bolaños. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Kamaka just gets hit too much. Yeah, he does. All right, let's keep moving on. Before we do so, if you guys could smash the like button for us. We have a good crowd, Weezy. We're at 600 people between X and YouTube. I feel like we haven't hit these numbers in a while, so maybe we should have went to Sunday a while ago. Maybe Sunday.
Yeah, man. I think we're back. We're back, baby.
We're back. It feels good to be back. I mean, we're getting some losers like Rick Allen in the building, but other than that, everybody seems to be cool. Got a nice Sunday crew going on.
Let's go.
Besides Rick Allen. All right, let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Adrian Yanez going against Cody Garbrandt. We got Adrian Yanez, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. Cody Garbrandt, 34 years old, 5'8" with a 65-inch reach. Yanez 2 years younger. Garbrandt with a 1-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach disadvantage. Garbrandt is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Trevin Jones. Knockout win against Brian Kelleher. Submission loss to Davis and Figueiredo. Decision loss to Rahani Barcelos. And then a decision win against Long Zhao. As far as Adrian Yanez, he has 1-3 and 1 draw in his last 5 fights. Got knocked out by Rob Font. Knocked out by Jonathan Martinez. He knocked out Vinicius Salvador. Lost a split decision to Daniel Marcos. And then had a draw against Ricky Simone. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight, I guess. Last Cody Garbrandt fight week, Weezy, I put on the face tattoo. and I scared the crap out of my son. He told me to go away, and he started crying. So it's just a lesson. Like if you're a father, don't get a face tattoo. It's going to scar your kids. So I ended up taking that off, but I put it back on for the Cody Garbrandt fight against Long Zhao because I picked him to win. I didn't bet him, but I picked him to win, and he won the fight, Wheezy. But I thought he lost the fight. I thought he lost 30-27. But Long Zhao got 2 points taken away. I don't think you could have really given Cody a single round there. He did nothing. And that's kind of the story with Cody Garbrandt these days, Wheezy. He goes out there and does nothing. He goes out there and does absolutely nothing. He tries to use his footwork, his speed. He tries not to get hit. He's clear. You can tell he's clearly trying to not get knocked out. He's fighting to not lose. And I hate that, dude. I just hate it. It makes for some of the worst fights you're ever going to, like that Trevin Jones fight. I was in attendance, dude. The whole crowd was booing besides me because I had Garbrandt by decision. The whole crowd was booing this guy. And that's what this guy's fights look like nowadays. Just awful. He's fighting to not lose. So I think it's an interesting matchup because Yanez does like the opposite of that. Yanez is going to come forward. Yanez is going to try to knock out Cody Garbrandt. And it's been a while since Cody's been knocked out. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since Cody's been knocked out. So I guess the big question is, do you think Yanez knocks him out? Or is Cody Garbrandt going to do his best Tristan Vines impression and run around the cage for 15 minutes while people are booing? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like this line is wide, and I totally get it. Yanez is younger. It's a striker versus striker matchup, and it just looks like Yanez is better at this point in his career. There's a big age difference here. You got Cody Garbrandt at almost 35 years of age, while you got Yanez at 32, and they seem to be in slightly different places in their career, and neither one of these guys is really on a run. I mean, like, the Long Zhao win is only because of the nut shot that Cody took there, where they had to take 2 points from Long Zhao. So I do think that this should be Adrian. It might be a decision. It might be a knockout, but it's I'm not looking to back Garbrandt here. Maybe like a decision-only prop, but even then, I still think that Yanez throws a lot more volume and does a lot more. And I just don't think that either one of these guys is somebody that I'm looking to back at this point. I've never been much of a fan of either of these guys, backing them at the window. And I'm not going to start now. So, I mean, this is a pretty easy one to feel like this is the one fight that I probably care about the least, because I think Adrian probably cruises here. And I just don't think that Garbrandt has much to offer. If you're losing 3 rounds to Long Zhao at distance striking range, I'm just not going to give you much of a chance to beat Adrian Yanez there. So I think it's Yanez, decision, KO. I don't know, but I don't really care either.
Yep, I guess it's probably KO, I guess. But I mean, how bad is the KO prop going to be is the problem. Let's take a guess. I think they're going to open up the KO prop at -150, and then it's going to get bet down to like -200. I think it's going to be like a -200 KO prop. It's going to be disgusting this week because he's -410.
Yeah.
It's going to be disgusting KO prop.
So if the bookies are saying he's -410, right? So that would put him at just over an 80% implied win probability. Let's say they say that only half of his win condition is KO. Then it would be priced at +150. If they're saying that it's like 75% though, which is I think what a lot of people are going to say, then you're talking about it being -150. That would be at 75% of his current win condition, which is considered to be just over 80%, Brady. So I think it's probably going to lie somewhere right in between -150 and +150, but probably closer to the -150 side.
I mean, if it's +150, I'm taking that all day, but there's no way because Yanez has knocked out all of his wins, and besides Grant, but Grant like has never been knocked out, and I thought he lost that fight. So yeah, Yanez has knocked out all of his wins pretty much. Knocked out Salvador, Kelly, Costa, Lopez, Rodriguez, and got that KO on the Contender Series as well. And Cody's super chinny, but the problem is Cody's going to fight not to get knocked out, and you could be like smashing your TV with laying -150 on a Yanez KO prop. So yeah, if it's -150, I'm not touching. If it's plus money for some reason, which I highly doubt it would be, because the bookies aren't stupid, I'll bet it, but I don't think it's going to be +100. So we'll see. Condolences. The bums lost. Who lost?
He's talking about the Big Lebowski. He's talking about one of my favorite speeches in the Big Lebowski. Because they're saying I look like the Big Lebowski. That's what these guys are saying. Like this guy's been saying all day, like that I look like I got a rug that pulls the room together. I look like, all these Big Lebowski references. So he's using one of my favorite lines from that movie.
Okay. Hit the like. Agreed. Hit it. Rick left. Dang it, Rick left. Love the MMA math with Rob Font versus both these guys. So yeah, Rob Font kind of dog walked Cody across 25 minutes, and Yanez got sparked by Rob Font. That was a shock. I don't know if I bet on that fight or not, but I knew probably was shocked by that outcome because Rob Font sparks in nobody, but he sparked Yanez. He tries not to get slept. He knows his chin is dust. Yeah, exactly. He's fighting not to lose, like a Andre Polayev, like who was that guy that ran around for 15 minutes and actually won the other week?
Borjas.
It's like, geez, fighting not to lose is the worst. Like Joe Selecki versus Grant Dawson, get taken down, stay safe for 15 minutes. Like, come on, man, come on. Adrian is a never was, to be honest. Books thinks he's clearly shot for sure. I favor the decision, honestly. Well, the over-under set at 1.5 rounds. So you can get the over 1.5 at like -175. That's probably not bad because Cody's going to try to hit that for you. But I mean, one connection and it's over. And if it turns out Wheezy Cody actually wants to fight because it's International Fight Week and the fans. I mean, if Cody actually tries to fight, it's going to finish for sure. Like if Cody actually tries to throw down, it's going to finish for sure. But I doubt he is. What if Garbrandt pulls out the Boras game plan? He will, but he can't pull it off because he just does nothing. He's always kind of been low volume, but especially these days, he does absolutely nothing. Like he lost all 3 rounds to Long Zhao. What are the odds in the under 1.5? They said it at, or under 2.5. They said it at 1.5, and the under is +153. I can't get there. Garbrandt to get his ass shaved here. Sunday night stat tickers. Let's go.
That's right.
You've had a good run the past few cards, right, Brady? Yes, sir. Hopefully we can keep it rolling. Weezy kind of look like the Big Lebowski, but this movie's overrated. It's a 5 out of 10.
So that's so untrue. Like Big Lebowski is not overrated at all. But there was a TV show that I was recently watching where one of the characters was consistently saying that the Big Lebowski was a super overrated movie. And I found it hilarious because everybody that I know loves that movie. But yeah, that's the second person I've heard say that the Big Lebowski is overrated.
1 second. Dude, you actually do look like this guy. Let me get this picture.
Yeah.
So I can show everybody. In this picture specifically, it really looks like you. Let me pull it up. Let's see. That looks just like you.
Yeah, because he had the long hair too, man. Like, and he would tie it up, and yeah, there's definitely a resemblance there.
Yeah, that picture specifically, not every picture, but that one for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next fight, and it is going to be, oh gosh, it's Gable Steveson going against Elijah Ellison. We got Steveson, 26 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Ellison, 29 years old, 6 foot with a 78-inch reach. We got Steveson 3 years younger, 1-inch height advantage, and a 4-inch reach disadvantage. We got Steveson making his debut here. 3 professional fights, all by knockout in the first round. As far as Ellison, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Made his debut against Brando Pericic, lost that fight by first round KO. I mean, this is like bad, man. Like, what are the matchmakers? I get they're trying to build up Steveson, but I don't think they needed to give him this big of a bum. Like, you could have gave him, like, I don't know, a Chris Barnett, right? Like, you don't have to give him Elijah. Elijah Ellison is by far the worst heavyweight on the roster. Like, I'll never forget his debut against Brando Pericic, Wheezy, where he pulled guard. You can't pull guard in the heavyweight division. You're going to get your head pounded through the canvas. And that's exactly what happened. And then I watched this fight against Dave Pearson. who stinks. Pearson took him down in round 2 and submitted him instantly. It was a very bad look. Elijah Ellison, every time I've seen him on his back, he looks like awful, like very bad. So, yeah, I mean, it should be Stevenson here. He's anywhere from minus 3,000 to minus 10,000 out there. And I think he probably pays off the price tag. He's going to take down Ellison, and Ellison looks like Wong Kong off his back. So he has that Wong Kong ground game. So, yeah, I think it's Gable Stevenson. Maybe in 60 seconds, maybe in 6. Like I saw this guy knock somebody out. And at the same time, he went for a takedown and he took down an unconscious body. I mean, the Stevenson's going to run through Ellison. And it might be a collab play of the week because I'm liking this guy. You're liking this guy. Maybe it'll be a collab play, minus 3,000. You heard it here first. Nobody else is going to take this guy. And I also think there's value on the under. And the under is the widest under in UFC history. And I think there's value on it, Weezy. We've never seen an under at minus 500, minus 540. And I think it's short. I think the under is short. So, yeah, I think it's Stevenson maybe in 60 seconds here. I mean, this is brutal matchmaking. Poor Elijah Ellison. Like if I'm Elijah Ellison, I'm pulling out of this fight. Like he's going to make like 10K to die. Would you die for 10K? I wouldn't. I'm not dying for $10,000.
No. I mean, like you can't even parlay that into a fortune, So no, I wouldn't. Like, whose gun was to Elijah Ellison's head when he signed this contract, man? Like this. What did he do to deserve this?
Nothing.
Is he like a bad person in real life?
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He doesn't seem. I mean, like, if you're a bad person, would you name yourself the Snack Panther? It seems like a whimsical nickname, Brady. He seems like he would be a good guy. Why are we giving him Gable Stevenson? And I mean, I guess you could go the route and say, well, Stevenson's only fought bums. He's inexperienced. He's only got 3 pro fights, Brady. And they've only lasted 5.9 minutes, so you never know. But, this is just like a steakhouse bet waiting to happen. Because, what could happen here is like Stevenson could kind of take him down and lay on top of him, a la Jailton Almeida versus Derek Lewis. This could be the first ever situation where Gable Stevenson could win a decision and a minus 3,000 favorite would probably be like plus 1,000 to win by decision because this fight's going to be minus 2,000 to finish inside the distance. So, yeah, what are we supposed to do here? This guy is one of the best wrestlers in a division where wrestlers don't really exist. And he's clearly a gifted athlete, with a really high ceiling. So, yeah, Gable should run through Elijah. But it's a heavyweight fight. There's always variance in those fights, and you never know. One good, perfect punch on the chin could knock him out. But then again, I did see a highlight today of Gable getting, like, spinning wheel kicked right to the jaw, and he walked through it. He walked through it. I was like, what? You're not supposed to walk through kicks like that. So maybe, like, even if he does get clipped, he won't go down. So in which case, minus 3,000 could look like value.
I think it's going to look like I think it's a little short, minus 3,000. Like I think it's a little short, Weezy.
I mean, it might be, dude. It might be, but it's a heavyweight fight, so who knows, man? Maybe Gable likes steak.
I'm just kidding. It's not sure. That's crazy. That's like a 97% implied probability. It's honestly probably too wide considering like it is a heavyweight fight. And these guys are big guys, but yeah, I mean, Stevenson should win. And I think a steakhouse bet might come in the future, but he's gonna get through this guy. Like even if he tries to not finish Ellison, I think he'll still finish him. That's how bad Elijah's ground game is. It's just so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, if you a better, it should be on Gable to win. I like it, man. I like it. Might be my first ever 60 seconds. If it isn't minus, it's going to be plus money because it's got to be. It's a 60-second prop. The worst ever 60-second prop I've ever seen, Weezy, was Rebellis de Spain versus, was it Jared Vandera? Maybe? Or
it was Fat Parisian, I think.
Yes, Parisian.
Yeah.
And it was like plus 200 or something for a 60-second finish. That's the worst I've ever seen. I think this could be something similar for the 60 seconds.
He cashed that, didn't he?
He cashed it. He knocked him out in like 30 seconds or less. It's crazy. On Bet365, Ellison was up to plus 2,600 on the money line. Imagine that, 1 unit to win 26. Who's in? Who's with me?
Jeez, man. That would be something. If Ellison pulls this off, it's going to be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. I looked into Ellison, and this dude's a part-time MMA fighter and part-time security guard. Well, security guards are tough. Yeah, you got to be a security guard. Stevenson fight has not entered the second round. I agree. Poor Elijah. Poor Elijah Ellison. Ellison under on significant strikes and an underdog is a free square. Did they get that out yet?
Let's look.
I'm curious to know how low it is, because they could have maybe put it at like 3, which would be hilarious.
That really would be.
They don't have it. They only have the main card out. It looks yet but
okay.
But they might. Oh wait, they do. Do they? Yeah, it's at 6.5. Yeah, I like the lower there. I thought it'd be like
too.
I thought it'd be like 3.5. Give me the lower on a 6.5. I'll take the lower there. Heck yeah.
We took the lower on Derek Lewis, 11 significant strikes. That fight went 9 minutes, and he still only managed 6.
Oh my gosh!
It's
crazy. Gone in 60 seconds. Bet probably hits. It probably does, dude. Probably does hit. New interview out with a fighter on this card who looks like was on Fight Island. Guess who, Brady? It looks like he was on Fight Island. What does that mean?
Abu Dhabi?
I don't know. Give me another hint.
Maybe Kai Kamaka, because I think Kai Kamaka did fight on Fight Island against Tony Kelly.
Yeah, it could be Kai Kamaka. I don't know. We'll see if Gable can secure a takedown at this level. He is not in Candyland anymore. I mean, Elijah's not this level though, so he's gonna get tested one day, but it's not today. I know Braden Weezy ain't picking no grown man named Elijah and to win a UFC fight. I'm not, man. I actually like Stevenson quite a bit. I like him to win. Would you sprinkle a little bit on Elijah? No.
Probably not, man. I mean, I get the point of it, though, Brady. Favorite being minus 3,000, corrupt sport, heavyweight fight. There's a bunch of things, I suppose, that potentially could go wrong, especially if there's a fix in. If I was trying to fix a fight, I'd be trying to fix a fight like this, dude. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
That's where you get the payoff.
Peyton Talbot got checked the one time. He got checked by Hani Barcelos, though. I mean, this Elijah Ellison, I don't know. It'd be the biggest upset in UFC history.
Mm-hmm.
Lovers Island. Love Island? I've heard of Love Island. Is there a Lovers Island? Let's take a look.
Did he get a Conor McGregor interview? Because that would be big.
No. I don't know. I don't see anything. Apparently, Obon Elliott was dating a Love Island star, but that's all I see for UFC fighters in Love Island. I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know. Well, I had one, but I try to keep it PG-13 since Brady's family my family is watching. So we got to keep it PG-13. Some palm tree. I don't know, man. Love Island. Which one of these fighters would be on? I feel like Tracy Cortez would be the type of fighter to be on like a Love Island show.
Potentially, yeah. She's been looking to find love for a while.
Who else could I see on like a Love Island? I don't know, man. Penis is maybe looking for some love. I don't. Maybe
he is an Islander. He's from Aruba.
Maybe it's Damian Penis then.
Yeah, maybe.
Who else is looking for love? Not Ryan Gondra, not Garbrandt. Well, Cody's no love. He's not looking for love for sure. So
no, definitely not looking for love. He's got none.
We'll rule out Garbrandt. So I'm thinking maybe Tracy Cortez is definitely looking for love, or
Benoit Saint-Denis seems like the sensitive type. He's French.
No. I think it's got to be Cortez, I guess. It's got maybe no. Yeah, Cortez would be my guess. It'd be Cortez. No, minus 500 is a free parlay piece for the under, better than Yanya's money line. I think it's short. I saw they open it at minus 400. I was like, wow, that's generous. Like it probably should be at minus 1,000, to be honest. No love and no chin. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Also the parlay boys are in town. Parlay boys are in town. Actually, I don't know. The dog hunters might be in town, Weezy, because there's money pouring in on these dogs. Money coming in on Tracy Cortez, Zach Reese. Money pouring in on King Green, it looks like. Nikita Krylov, Patty Pimblett, Conor McGregor. I don't know if the parlay boys are in town. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, I heard Olberg was on like one of those type of shows, but I don't know.
Yeah, like The Bachelor or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe it was Krill. I could see Krylov on a dating show with.
Well, he's the miner. He might be out there mining for love, Brady.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know that he ain't mining for fight IQ. That's for sure, because he hasn't found any in a very long time.
He hasn't completed a takedown in probably 5 years at this point. It's crazy. But
yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is probably my 1-800-GAMBLER fight of the week. I mean, this is a fight that I really don't want to bet on. But we'll see. Maybe I bet on it because there is a spot kind of sticking out. We got Nikita Krylov going against Robert Whittaker. We got Krylov, 34 years old, 6'3" with a 77-inch reach. Whittaker, 35 years old, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. We got Krylov 1 year younger, 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Krylov is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Volkan Oezdemir. A submission win against Ryan Spann. Nobody does that. Knockout loss to Dominic Reyes. Knockout loss to Bogdan Guskov. And then a knockout win against Modestas Bukauskas. As far as Robert Whittaker, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Dricus Du Plessis. Decision win against Paulo Costa. Knockout win against Ikram Aliskerov. Submission loss to Hamzat. And then a decision loss to Reiner de Ritter. So I got a lot of problems with this fight, Weezy. The first problem, Robert Whittaker isn't a light heavyweight. At all. Like Robert Whittaker was kind of small for middleweight, and now he's moving up to light heavyweight. I mean, he's going to be undersized in every single matchup he's in. I mean, every single one by a lot, and he's going to be undersized here. 3-inch height disadvantage, 4-inch reach disadvantage. Krylov's a much bigger guy, so I don't love that for Whittaker. This move, I was surprised when he was moving up to light heavyweight. I don't like that for him really at all, but we'll see how it goes. I don't like the chin of Robert Whittaker. I thought he's been chinny for like a while now, so I don't like that. But on the Krylov side, I don't like the fact that he looks completely washed to me. He looks done. You brought it up. His fight IQ, some of the worst fight IQ in the game. And he had like a nasty shoulder injury a couple of years ago that kept him out for like 2 years. And then he showed back up against Dominic Reyes. Or did he get the shoulder injury? I think he got the shoulder injury before the Reyes fight. He comes back and he looks completely washed. He looks like he was old now, as his hair was all gray and looked like he'd been through it. And they got knocked out by Reyes, and then he went against Guskov and got knocked out there. He looked awful there, and then quite frankly, he looked awful against Bukauskas. But luckily for him, Bukauskas just did nothing in that fight, and then even got knocked out. I think Krylov's washed. I think Whittaker is definitely towards the end of his career. I don't want to call him washed, but he's definitely nowhere near his prime at this point. And Whittaker's actually the older fighter, but Krylov has a lot more tread on the tires, 7 more fights. He's taken a lot more damage, been in a lot more wars. This is a weird one, man. I feel like the more skilled fighter is Robert Whittaker by a mile, but Krylov is the bigger fighter. He's got the grappling upside. He's got the power edge, and money's coming in on him. So Whittaker was as high as like minus 200 at one point last week, minus 205, but now he's down to minus 147. Krylov was as high as plus 185. He's now down to plus 127. This is a weird one. If anything here, I would take a look at maybe like violence, like the under 1.5, because I love betting under 1.5 in Krylov's fights. But the problem with that is it looks like it's like a more measured Krylov nowadays. So I don't know, dude. What are you liking in this fight here?
I have no clue, man, because you brought up everything that I was going to bring up in terms of uh, Krylov looked awful against Guskov. I mean, like he couldn't have fought any dumber against Guskov. He looked completely done against Reyes. And I remember he was like making excuses as to why he looked dumb in those fights, but none of those excuses were like along the level of, oh, these guys were both better strikers than me, but I just chose to go out there and strike with them, even though I was slower than molasses in January and getting tagged up on the feet. So he wasn't even able to make adjustments in those fights. And then he goes out there and he beats Modestus. And, you know, that's a pretty good win. And so I think for Krylov, we kind of have to ask ourselves, do we want to forgive him right now for those Guskov and Reyes performances? Because, by the way, you guys, Bogdan Guskov is terrible on the ground, and he didn't wrestle at all in that fight. And since Dominic Reyes beat Krylov, he's looked awful. He's looked slow. He's looked fat. So those wins and the 2-year layoff that preceded, or I'm sorry, those losses against Reyes and Guskov and the 2-year layoff that preceded that, and then you look at the fact that this guy's got 42 professional fights, 21 UFC fights, and he's a killer be killed fighter that gets finished all the time. Yeah, I could see this being a finish either way for either fighter, but I don't think Whitaker really fights like that, you know? Like, I'm willing to bet an under in a Krylov fight, but I'm not willing to bet an under in a Whitaker fight, you know, like not against somebody that I don't think can actually go out there and finish him, because I'm not counting on Robert Whitaker finishing anybody right now, especially not at 205 pounds. You know, I don't think this guy was a powerful striker at 185. So is he going to go out there and knock out people at 205? He could win minutes, I think. I think anyone can win minutes against Krylov because his fight IQ is absolutely awful. So there's a lot of unanswered questions on both sides. The unanswered questions on the Krylov side are, is this guy washed? Is he ever going to make a good decision in the cage? And then on the Whitaker side, obviously you got a guy that's 35 years old. He's got a ton of tread on the tires. You know, he's taken a lot of damage. His chin is very questionable. And Krylov's got a lot of grappling upside as a 205-pounder fighting against a former welterweight here who shouldn't be at this weight class. So, yeah, I mean, there's too many unanswered questions for me to get involved. But I do think that Whitaker should be the favorite here. Big strength of schedule advantage, big fight IQ advantage. And I think he's the better minute winner at distance striking range against a guy like Krylov, who's really kind of sporadic and really relies on moments at distance striking range.
Yeah, I just hate this move to light heavyweight. Like, I think Krylov's washed, but I mean, I don't like this move. Like, Whitaker's small. Like, I saw a picture of Whitaker next to Dan Hooker, who fought at like featherweight, and Hooker was towering over Robert Whitaker. Like,
oh man,
come on, man. Come on.
And like at 35 years old, when you're moving up from a class from 185 to 205, it's not because you were too big for 185. It's because you don't want to cut the weight anymore. Even Whitaker said himself, I'm sick of not being able to eat at the barbecue. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when I was working out all the time, like these guys work out all the time, I never gave a shit about what I ate. You know, unless I'm in fight camp, I can go to the barbecue and eat like a ridiculous amount of food because I should be in the gym 4 hours a day. So like that move up to 205, it makes me think that like this guy just doesn't even want to cut weight anymore. He's showing up for a paycheck. It's been a while since his last fight, almost a year, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird one, man. It's a weird one. So the under, it's a big under for a Krylov fight. I mean, Krylov fights go under like a lot. I know he went over against Bukauskas, but I think it was more because Bukauskas didn't want to be there. Under 1.5 plus 174. I feel like I should be betting it because I bet the under in the Krylov Bukauskas fight at like minus 115. So to get plus 174 on a Krylov fight is kind of interesting, but with the unknowns, with the Whitaker going up in weight and might just pass. But if we get the Krylov of old and he actually fights with some aggressiveness, he could finish. His striking defense is horrible. Like Krylov looks awful at distance striking. He looks old. He looks slow. He's chinny now. So Whitaker probably could knock him out, to be honest. But yeah, it's a brutal one. It's certainly a brutal one. Last time Rob was on a prelim was at 2013. It's probably been a while. Probably been a very long time. But he's the featured prelim here. Light heavyweight is so trash. Worst division. Yeah, it's one of the worst divisions for sure. If Krylov doesn't grapple, he's aft. Well, boy, do I have news for you, because he doesn't grapple ever anymore. He retired from grappling. He's not even thinking about grappling in there. Like, when's the last time he got a takedown? I guess he got one against Modestas. But yeah, didn't even try to against Reyes, Gustav, and they got one against Modestas. Maybe he'll try to grapple. That'd be interesting.
He should.
Yeah, of course he should. That's his best aspect, is that grappling. Whitaker versus Dricus, that'd be a fun fight, man. That'd be a good fight.
He's moving back down to middleweight to take that fight, believe me.
How fun will it be to see Bobby Knuckles get a win in his light heavyweight debut? It'd be pretty fun. Bobby's going to be so small, very, very small. What's the percentage of wins for fighters when they try to come up in weight class? I don't know. Probably not great, though. I don't know, though. Krylov plotted in with his chin in the air the same way against Modestas. Problem is Modestas was loading up and didn't have any power, and Modestas stinks, dude. Did they cut Modestas after that last fight? I couldn't believe what I was watching. His last fight against that guy that took the fight on short notice. And Modestas almost lost that fight. It was a split decision against Christian Edwards, where both guys landed 36 strikes in a fight that took place at distance striking for 20 or for 15 minutes. I mean, that was one of the worst performances ever. So Modestas needs cut, dude. Needs cut. A gust of wind to the chin could knock out Krylov in 2026. Yeah, he looks done. Whitaker KO1 worth a shot for sure for me. I don't hate it. Reaper fighting for his 20. He has 23 kids. Holy crap. It's more than Nico. It's double the Nico price. Whitaker KO1 is a good look. Just not sure he has the power. I mean, look what he did to De Ritter. He completely floored De Ritter. And De Ritter's bigger than Krylov. So you never know. 3-inch height and reach, 3-inch height and 4-inch reach disadvantage for the Reaper. Yep. Will Whitaker be able to land his 1-2 head kick on someone much taller? Maybe. I mean, Krylov's right there to be hit. Some people say Hokit is too small for heavyweight, but he uses speed against slow guys, and Nikita is he's one of the slowest guys in the division these days.
Yeah.
Not sure Rob is even 6 foot. Yeah, I agree. Rob's probably not even 6 foot. He's probably more like 5'10" max. I mean, I saw that picture with Dan Hooker was like towering over this guy. All right. Let's get into the main card. Before we do so, Weezy, should we rip a couple cards?
You've got them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Hell yeah.
Right. Here we go. Let me pull it up. Let's rip some cards, guys.
Let's go. Right. Home of fight. Stand up.
Here we go. Let me pull it up. There we go. All right. Here we go. So the first time we ever ripped cards, Weezy, we got a Robert Whitaker autograph.
Yes. Man, that'd be so sweet to get another autographed card, man.
So shout out for the new sponsor, Home of Fight Cards. Check them out, homeoffightcards.com. We're going to rip some cards. Hopefully we get something good. So the first time we ever ripped on Stat Tickers, we got Robert Whitaker autographed card. But the card after that, we got Macy Chiasson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't a great pull on the second one, but the first one was phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on, babe.
Let's go.
Come on, baby. All right, here we go. Are you ready to open the Home of Fight exclusive MMA pack? Let's do it.
We're ready.
Well, something good.
Let's go.
Here we go. Come on, baby.
Give us an autograph. Give us a counter card. Conor McGregor card. Let's go. Da Un Jung.
I'm a big fan of that guy.
He does have a win over William Knight. And they're not just handing those out.
It's a PSA 10. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing that. All right, let's try again. Come on, something good, man. Not Da Un Jung, man.
Yeah, I got to do better than Da Un Jung, man. That is not a good look.
Good.
Come on.
Something good. All right, let's try again.
All right, yeah.
All right, here we go. Da Un Jung's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. We need something good.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Are you ready to open up the Homo Fight exclusive MMA pack? Yes. Come on, baby. Yes. Please.
Let's go.
We're due.
Come on. We need a Conor McGregor or a Max Holloway card on UFC 329 week. We got to get it.
Come
on.
What
are we getting? Come on. Hook us up. Darren Till.
Okay.
Darren Till, cool. 2023. He hangs out with Khamzat Chimaev. He's got a lot of illegitimate kids. These are the kind of cards that go up in value.
That's actually good. It's worth $89. We'll take that. We'll take it. Yeah. I'm not a big Darren Till guy, but that's pretty good card. We'll take that.
No, we'll definitely take that. Fantastic.
We'll take it. All right, so we're going to be ripping cards every week on Stat Diggers there. All right, let's pull this back up. I'll take it. Darren Till. Why not? Yeah, Darren Till has been. What's he doing now? What's he doing? Bare knuckle? He's doing something.
He did something recently. I think it was bare knuckle.
Nice. Herb Dean. I would like to get like a Jason Herzog card one day. That'd be sweet. Yeah, Herzog card would be nice. Yeah, I guess he's doing some bare knuckle. Okay. So shout out to HomoFightCards.com. Let us get into the main card, and it is going to kick off with a banger, man. We got Terrence McKinney going against King Green. We got Terrence McKinney, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. We got King Green, 39 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. We got McKinney, 8 years younger, same height, 2-inch reach advantage for him. King Green, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Submission loss to Paddy Pimblett. Knockout loss to Mauricio Hoopy. Decision win against Lance Gibson Jr. Knockout win against Daniel Zellhuber. And then a submission win against Jeremy Stevens. As far as McKinney, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss to Esteban Ribovics. Knockout win against Demir Hadzovic. Submission win against Slava Borshev. Submission loss to Chris Duncan. And a knockout win against Kyle Nelson. So I sent it to you this week, Weez. I went to my past bets on Terrence McKinney. And McKinney might be my most profitable fighter in the whole UFC. And want to know why?
Why?
Because I take the under. I take the under every single time. I take it every time he fights. And it's 13 for 13. And it's always weird. Like the under is always playable, Uncle Weezy. Like I'm looking at some of these prices I get on the under. It's always at a playable number. I think the worst I've ever betted was maybe like minus 250. I guess against Murad it was like minus 350, but against Kyle Nelson it was like minus 225 or something, minus 210. Against Chris Duncan it got all the way down to like minus 225 because people are betting the over in the McKinney fights as the week goes on. But Weezy, after 13 fights, they finally figured it out. They finally figured out that McKinney goes under because McKinney Green under 1.5 is currently sitting at minus 360 there. It did open up on DK at minus 220, which was great, but it got bet all the way down to like minus 375 on DK. So money has poured in on the under. I do think there's going to be a lot of buyback. I do think there's going to be some sharps on the over. And I do think we're gonna definitely get the under at a solid price later in the week, especially when the McKinney is my favorite part of McKinney fight week. McKinney, the interview. He does his interviews, Weezy. And in these interviews, he says, yeah, man, I'm going to be patient this time, man. I'm going to go to decision. I'm going to pace myself, man. And you could tell that he has the biggest smile on his face. It's like, yeah, man, maybe go out and go 15 minutes, man. It's going to be, and he's just laughing his ass off. And people eat it up. People are talking. Yeah. It goes viral on Twitter. Oh my gosh, McKinney's going to go 15 minutes. And then the fight starts, and he runs across the cage and throws 100 punches in 10 seconds. So I'm waiting for this McKinney interview to come out, waiting for money to come back on this over, and then might take like an under in this fight. In terms of how it goes, I mean, it's a pretty simple fight to break down. McKinney has never won a fight that has went more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds into round one. Never.
Yep.
Not in the UFC. He has about 2 minutes and 30 seconds of gas. If he doesn't finish you, he's going to look for the door. He's going to look to get finished himself, whether it be a knockout, a submission. I like the under. And for people that are saying that, oh, Green's not some, early finisher, he doesn't need to be. Is Nazim Sadikov an early finisher? No. Is Ribovics an early finisher? Not really. I mean, I think that's Ribovic's only finish win in the UFC. And then who else finished him? Oh, Ismail Bonfim finished McKinney under 1.5 as well. So you can finish McKinney. You can finish him. So I like the under. I like the fight won't start round 2. I like the McKinney under half a round. Maybe a gone in 60. I mean, this guy has I think 5 finishes under 60 seconds in his career or something like that. So, yeah, give me violence here. Weezy, it's a Terrence McKinney fight, looking to keep the train rolling.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you, man? One of the great mathematical tools that I learned at the Harvard of the Midwest, Northern Illinois University, Go Huskies, was the binomial distribution. And if you know the probability of 2 different things, and those probabilities add up to 1, you could take a bunch of different samples of size of how many trials you're going to do and find the exact probability of something happening. And Terrence McKinney has 13 UFC fights. All 13 of them have ended under 1.5 rounds. And that happens about 32.85% of the time in this division. And if you were to take 0.3285 and raise it to the 13th power, you would get the likelihood that happens. And really it comes out to 1 in 1,927,770. So the odds of 13 consecutive fights for the same fighter ending under 1.5 rounds in the men's lightweight division in the UFC is just under 1 in 2 million. So when you see those kind of statistical anomalies, it just tells you that Terrence fights in a way that other people just don't fight in. The guy does not have durability. He's not able to take a punch. And because he's so off the charts explosive early in fights, that kind of explosivity comes at the cost of your gas tank. Nobody can be that explosive for extended periods of time because the human body just doesn't operate. You can't redline an engine and not blow out the engine. And that's what Terrence is he's a Ferrari. He's a Ferrari. The thing runs perfectly when it's running well, but God help you if something on that Ferrari starts to not run well, because now you're going to have to take it to a shifty mechanic who will probably never be able to fix it. And McKinney's got that bad durability, that bad gas tank, but he is probably the most dangerous guy in any weight class in the UFC for about 2.5 minutes. So, yeah, I think what's going to happen here is Terrence McKinney's going to just overwhelm Bobby Green and finish him in about 2 minutes. It might be a knockout. It might be a takedown and a rear naked choke, but I think he's going to finish him, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards as well. McKinney, in the first couple of minutes, and if he doesn't, then he's gonna get finished himself. So, yeah, money coming in on King Green. McKinney actually opened up minus 205. He's now down to minus 140. Green opened up plus 175, currently plus 120. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this over goes, because it's been weird. It feels like the last year or so, when it's really clear that a fight's going to finish and a fight's going to go under, a lot of money comes in on the over late, on fight day. It's the weirdest thing ever. The Yakayev over 1.5 was getting obliterated. I think the under for the Yakayev fight closed at minus 155, and I betted it when it was close to minus 225 or something. So yeah, maybe we get I think we will. I think we'll get some buyback on this over. I don't know what it is, but money comes in on these overs late in the week, so something to be aware of. Going to parlay fight, doesn't start round 2 with the Gable fight. Whenever they useless, corrupt bookies finally decide to put lines out, yeah, what are they waiting for, man? Does T-Rex like steaks? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. McKinney at the number, yeah. I can't wait to see what his round 1 prop's going to be. It's going to be maybe plus 100. It's going to be so bad. I think they figured it out. Can we have 2 pipings of the weeks, McKinney and Gondra? Maybe.
They're
We'll
both
see.
good choices.
It's a big card. Maybe we do have 2 pipings of the weeks. Minus 360. It'll get better. You know, if you didn't get the minus 220, I would wait it out. The interview had me rolling down the aisle. Yeah, it makes me laugh every single time. Like the big smirk on his face when he said he's gonna win a decision. It's hilarious. McKinney said even if he's patient, it will only take him 4 minutes. Yeah. McKinney under 1.5 is minus 275 on the score. Played it at minus 188. Seems free. There you go. That's a great number. I would take that all day. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be Lonnie Kavanaugh going against Brandon Royval. We got Kavanaugh, 27 years old, 5'4" with a 67-inch reach. Royval, 33 years old, 5'9" with a 68-inch reach. We got Kavanaugh, 6 years younger. Royval with a 5-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Royval is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Pantoja. Decision win against Moreno. Decision win against Taira. Decision loss to Van and knockout loss to Kopp. As far as Kavanaugh, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Jose Ochoa. Decision win against Felipe Dos Santos. Knockout loss to Charles Johnson. And a decision win against Brandon Moreno. So, yeah, I remember, watching Kavanaugh's fight against Charles Johnson. And I had a bet on the Charles Johnson plus 3.5 point spread. And I was watching the first round, and I hated that bet because Kavanaugh looked like $1 million in that first round. I was like, holy crap, Kavanaugh has made a ton of improvement. And this doesn't even look like Kavanaugh in there. It looks like amazing in there. He was piecing up Charles Johnson. I thought he was about to knock out Charles Johnson in the first round. He looked so good. And then he gets caught in the second round. And then he goes and fights Brandon Moreno in elevation on somewhat short notice, but his cardio kind of held up over the course of 25 minutes. He hurt Moreno very badly in that second round. And once again, he looked incredible. I think Lonnie Kavanaugh is making massive improvements each and every time he steps in the cage. It's like he's leveled up each and every time. He's only 27 years old. I think he's on his way up, and Royval, I'm worried about him. He's been dealing with some injuries lately. He's been dealing with some concussions. There's like pictures circulating where he's like wearing like some type of concussion helmet or something. Have you seen that? He's wearing like some neuro helmet. He's been talking about like concussions since the before the Van fight. And then the Van fight, he got another couple of concussions because he ate over 200 significant strikes in the Van fight. And then he got dropped bad in the third round. There was 10 more seconds. That fight was probably never mind because Herzog was reffing. But regardless, he did get dropped bad in late round 3. And then his chin finally cracked against Kopp. So he's taken a ton of damage, concussion issues. I'm worried about Royval. He's never had good striking. Like his striking defense is horrible. And he's going against Lonnie Kavanaugh, who just looks clean on the feet, crisp, has some power. So yeah, I think Kavanaugh is going to tag him up here. I mean, if Royval can, extend this fight and, make it a war, drag it out, maybe we could see Royval, take over down the stretch, but he's going to have to walk through some fire here. And I'm not sure he can do that anymore at this point of his career. And it's not like he's some good wrestler. He's not. He doesn't really wrestle, and he's not good at it. So I think it's going to take place on the feet. I think these guys are going to punch each other in the face, and I just have a lot more faith in Lonnie Kavanaugh at this point. So give me Kavanaugh here. What is the line? Minus 220. He was like minus 180 last week. So I guess a lot of money's coming in on Kavanaugh here. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense, right? Because we're looking at career trajectory here, and you've got Kavanaugh, who's won, 10 of his last 11 fights. He's won 4 of his last 5. And even in the Johnson fight, he was murdering Johnson before he kind of just like slowed down at the end of the second round, ate a big shot, and then wound up getting knocked out. Royval looked really good against Josh Van. I mean, like up until like the last 10 seconds of that fight, it was actually very, very close. And you could have it could have went either way. So I think we got to keep in mind that Royval can last extended stretches against really good strikers. And most people do prefer to take him down. But somebody like Kopp has got that combination of power and speed that I don't know if Kavanaugh has that kind of a power yet, like that Cop does. But he's clearly a very gifted athlete, only 27 years old, looks to be making improvements between fights, and the striking is really, really, really good. So, yeah, I think it should be Kavanaugh, but Royval throws a lot more volume. Royval's got a sizable strength to schedule advantage, Brady. I've got him ranked number 2 out of 54 fighters in the division. So we don't want to, overlook the fact that Brandon Royval's last 5 fights are Manel Kape, Joshua Van, Tatsuro Taira, Brandon Moreno, and Pantoja. So all 5 of those guys are either champions, going to be champions, or their next fight is a title fight. So that's a very, very high level of competition. While Kavanaugh's last win over Brandon Moreno, he was a plus 170 underdog in that fight. And now he's going to being, a big favorite against Royval. So I think that's interesting, knowing that we saw Charles Johnson knock out Kavanaugh just 2 fights ago. So, yeah, there's interesting trend information in this fight. And I think that when you've got a difference of 7 years almost between these two guys, a difference in recent form, a difference in momentum and career trajectory, obviously you're going to see a wide line. And that's no different here. But this is a step up in competition. Royval, the much better submission grappler, much more likely to win this fight by submission. He's also going to be throwing a lot more volume while this fight is on the feet. He throws a lot of kicks. He could give Kavanaugh some problems here. You don't want to, you don't necessarily want to be like shorting Brandon Royval as an underdog. I mean, this guy has consistently outperformed market expectations when priced as an underdog. He's got a 50% ROI over 10 fights. You have 10 UFC fights where he's priced as a pick'em or underdog. So that's really good. And Kavanaugh is only 2-1 as a favorite with a negative ROI. So just, some things to remember there, but the momentum, the career trajectory, the striking, I think all those things favor Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I kind of just feel like Kavanaugh's getting him at the right time. And even if like these guys fought like even like a year or 2 ago, I kind of think I don't like this matchup for Royval. He's not going to grapple. He's not going to take down Kavanaugh, I don't think. They're going to strike. Yeah, minute for minute, it's probably going to be very close, but I think Kavanaugh's going to be landing the harder strikes, the more impactful. I could see him dropping Royval. So, yeah, I lean Kavanaugh here, but minus 220, it has been taking some steam for sure because he was minus 170, it looks like, just about a week ago. All right. Yeah, same. Wanted to get to Royval, but saw him wearing some helmet for brain. I saw that too. Pretty sure he's done. He had like some type of leg injury too. And the concussion issues have been like an ongoing thing, like the past couple fights. It's not good. You don't want to have concussion issues in a sport where you're getting concussions a lot. Kavanaugh KO plus 220. Yeah, I could see him hurting him. A penis will never let us down. Let's go. Where's my notification? I don't know, man. They didn't notify you? That's not cool. That's not cool. It's funny because Uncle Weezy is like the dude always biting, and brother Brady always abides as well. What does that mean?
It's one of the terms that they say in the movie, the dude abides, and it's Sam Elliott while he's sitting at the bar with the dude, and the dude is me. That's Jeff Bridges. And yeah, that's one of the things that Sam Elliott says is the dude abides. And yeah, that's just one of the lines from the movie, a classic movie.
Check it out. Fight completes 1 round. You would think so. I would guess I would lean longer, but also he lost to Charles Johnson. So that was one of the biggest flukes in UFC history.
Yeah, it sure was.
Charles Johnson's a fluke artist. I mean, anytime he's won, actually, it's been a fluke. Charles Johnson. He's a fluke artist. Classic. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is going to be Corey Sandhagen going against Mario Bautista. We got Sandhagen, 34 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Bautista, 33 years old, 5'9" with a 69-inch reach. We got Bautista 1 year younger. Sandhagen with a 2-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Sandhagen is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Marlon Vera and Rob Font. Decision loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. Knockout win against Davis and Figueiredo. And then a decision loss to Murad Dvalishvili. As far as Bautista, he's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Ricky Simone. Decision win against Jose Aldo. Decision win against Patchy Mix. Decision loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. And then a submission win against Vinicius Oliveira. Close fight here. In my opinion, it's probably one of the closer fights on the card. And the line does indicate that it's minus 140 for Sandhagen, plus 120 for Batista. I think, this is a rematch, but we really can't take much into it. Batista's making his debut. We got armbarred. But on the feet, I do like Sandhagen a little bit more volume, a little more variety kicks. But I think Batista could have some success in the wrestling, the grappling, because everybody is taking down Sandhagen. Like, his takedown defense is pretty brutal. It's a close fight. I could see some cage pushing potentially from Batista, some takedowns from Batista. I think the striking will be close. I think it goes to decision. Probably goes into the hands of the crooked, blind, corrupt judges. I think it's a very close fight. So what are your thoughts on this one, Weezy?
I think the same thing. Obviously, Batista's been fighting at an extremely high level. 20 pro fights, 14 UFC fights, and an 11-3 record. Now, Corey Sandhagen on the other side, he's been fighting at just a much higher level of competition than Batista has. I've got Corey ranked number 1 in the division in strength of schedule. This guy hasn't taken anything but the toughest fights over the last many years. Even the Rob Font fight was just Umar pulling out and Rob Font being a short notice replacement. So Corey is a guy that doesn't have really a lot of weak spots in his game. They mentioned the takedown defense, but yeah, you're going to get taken down by Umar Nurmagomedov. And he's still, even though he gets 1.15 takedowns per 15 minutes and allows 2.61, and this is me talking about Sandhagen, he still out controls his opponents 20% to 15%, winning 57% of the control time positions. And he has a positive 1.08 clinch and ground strike differential as well. So Corey's going to be very, very strong wherever the fight goes. I think he could potentially get takedowns. I think he's going to be throwing a similar amount of volume as Batista throws. And both of these guys have got some grappling upside in terms of being able to win some minutes. But the one place I do think Batista does better than Sandhagen is in the clinch. We saw Batista have a lot of success in recent fights in the clinch. And Corey Sandhagen, over his 16 UFC fights, he's only landed 34 significant clinch strikes and absorbed 71. So he gets out clinch struck 2-1 while he's in those positions. So I think that's a place where Mario might be able to find some minutes. Mario does throw a little bit more volume, but I think Corey's probably the slightly better striker that would be doing a little bit more damage at range and has proven his skill set against a better brand of competition than what Mario has. So I'm leaning to the Sandhagen side here, but I kind of think that it's going to be a close fight. And, never forget that Batista's been finished a couple of times in the UFC, once by Trevin Jones. So, we don't know if Batista's durability is where it needs to be necessarily. The only guy who took him to decision was Umar Nurmagomedov, and we know that he fights with the urgency of a bureaucrat. So I think it's an interesting fight. I think it's going to play out very close, man. I think both of these guys have paths where they can probably be a little bit better than their opponent. So it's going to come down to experience, fight IQ, and I just lean a little bit towards the Sandhagen side there.
Yeah, probably stay away from this one. Should be a fun fight, I guess. I don't know. Nothing really sticking out. To go the distance, I would tend to agree. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about that, though. But yeah, I agree. I think it should go. I like goes minus 200. I think it plays out close. Batista plus 3.5 is minus 160. I don't mind that. Batista. Got Sandhagen in this one. They are not as high level as Patchy One. He's got a good point. They're not as high level as Patchy Mix. That's for sure. Patchy Mix is great. This could be a little boring. Yeah, especially if Mario's like holding Sandhagen against the cage for extended period of time. It could be a little bit boring. I got the over 2.5 for 3 units. There you go. Got 2 units on the over 2.5. Best of luck. I don't mind it. What is it? Yeah, minus 255.
My
Not
model
bad.
just hates that. It's a negative trifecta bet. An interesting stat is that Corey Sandhagen has had 7 fights at the UFC level that have been scheduled for 3 rounds. 5 of those 7 fights have finished, Brady.
Jeez.
So that's a really big number for somebody that, is not really known as a finisher, but this is a high level fight, where I think the stylistic read is that, yeah, of course it's going to go to decision because Sandhagen not known for being a finisher at this level against lower level guys, maybe. Same thing with Bautista, more of a minute winner than a moment winner at this level. But my model is showing that 11 of their 20 combined fights that have been scheduled for 3 rounds have finished under 2.5 rounds. So that means 55%, but the under 2.5 rounds is only priced at 32%. So it's just showing you that the difference between the stylistic read, which is an over between 2 solid, hard to finish fighters, but the actual numbers show something completely different.
Yeah, I think if there is a finish, it's probably Sandhagen getting the finish, to be honest. Because Sandhagen maybe like landing a knee or something. Could see that.
Yeah.
But Sandhagen's stupid tough.
Extremely tough. And Bautista is the one that we've actually seen get finished by other than, obviously Corey got finished by what's his name? Aljo.
Aljo, yeah.
Yeah.
And Batista got finished by 5-star Trevin Jones. That's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then Sandhagen finished him.
Yeah. So
you never know.
Yeah, if the rematch takes place like the original, under 2.5 rounds is plus 211, and it is a massive trifecta bet on my over under betting model and a 20 fight sample size. So interesting.
Yeah, you never know. All right, let's move on to the co-main event. It is going to be Benoit Saint-Denis going against Paddy Pimblett. We got BSD, 30 years old, 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Paddy Pimblett, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. Saint-Denis is 1 year younger, 1-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. We got BSD is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout loss against Renato Moicano. Submission win against Kyle Prepolek. Submission win against Mauricio Hufi. Knockout win against Benoni Riouche. And then a knockout win against Dan Hooker in his last fight out. As far as Paddy Pimblett, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. A decision win against Jared Gordon. Decision win against Tony Ferguson. Submission win against King Green. A knockout win against Michael Chandler. And then a decision loss against Justin Gaethje. So this is a very interesting fight and very intriguing fight here. The more I think about this fight, I don't know, because on the feet, I think it's going to be very competitive. Both these guys have some of the worst striking defense you're ever going to see in your entire life. Both these guys don't defend strikes, quite frankly. Both these guys are next level tough. I do favor Paddy Pimblett with the durability because we've seen BSD get hurt, knocked out, dropped. He got knocked out like 5 times by Dos Santos, knocked out by Poirier. So I think Paddy's probably a little bit more durable, but they're both stupid tough on the feet. I think the biggest advantage or difference in this fight is in the wrestling. I think BSD is just a much, much better wrestler. Paddy can't wrestle, quite frankly, and BSD can. So I think it's going to come down to what happens, once this fight hits the mat. BSD will go for takedowns, and he's going to get them. The question is he going to be able to either A, finish Paddy on the mat, or B, be able to kind of control Paddy on the mat? And I don't know. I mean, I'm watching BSD fights, and he's making a ton of mistakes. And I remember watching his fights outside the UFC before he came in. He's making a ton of mistakes in the grappling. He's, submission over position. He's, falling off the top. He's getting reversed. He's getting swept. And, even inside the UFC, he's getting put in, submission attempt after submission attempt. Dan Hooker, I think what's the guy's name? Stolte, or we got in a bunch of submission attempts against Dustin Poirier, making mistakes. Even against Hufi, got reversed at one point. So he can make a lot of mistakes in the grappling, and I think it's going to be interesting in this fight against Paddy Pimblett. So I actually thought the overs would be a minus number because you think both these guys are really tough. I don't see Saint-Denis knocking out Paddy. I don't see Paddy knocking out Saint-Denis, at least on the feet. I guess either guy could get a ground and pound TKO. I don't think Saint-Denis submitting Paddy. I guess Paddy could maybe submit BSD, but I thought the overs would be a minus number, and they're big plus money for the overs, which I find interesting. The under is getting obliterated. Maybe that has something to do with BSD coming in here with staff, or And he's never been the distance, to be fair, outside of Zaleski. But that fight should have been stopped. So it's a weird fight. I can see a lot of different outcomes here. I could see a Saint Denis decision. I think Saint Denis decision at plus 400 is a great look. I think he's going to be the minute winner. I think he's going to get takedowns. And I could see a Paddy Pimblett sub. And if Paddy gets on top at any point, the fight's going to be over shortly after. So weird one here. Money's coming in on Paddy quite heavily. He opened up plus 170, currently plus 116. BSD opened up minus 200, currently minus 136. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I know it's going to be probably the most fun fight of the night because it's a BSD fight.
Absolutely, man. And I was thinking the same thing because Benoit Saint Denis is very durable. Paddy Pimblett's obviously very durable. So I was thinking that maybe there might be value on the overs here, but no thanks, man. I don't want to pay juice on that. You're talking about.
It's not juice.
It's not. Is it? Was it plus 130?
It's big plus money. Plus 150.
Oh, plus 150. Yeah. I mean, like literally 0 Benoit Saint Denis fights have went to the decision. And I mean, obviously one did go to decision, but it's obviously one of the biggest refereeing mistakes that we remember in the last 5 years. So, I mean, I just don't see this fight going to decision, even though stylistically, I think you can make a pretty good argument that it will because both fighters are durable. And you know what? I bring it up every time. I'm not backing a guy who lost 3 consecutive rounds to Jared Gordon to beat Benoit Saint Denis. This is the first guy that isn't in a fucking retirement home that Paddy Pimblett has fought since the Gordon fight. They deliberately protected him by giving him Tony Ferguson, which was a joke. Then they gave him King Green. Green dove into a guillotine there and shot a takedown in a fight that he should have never taken, and then showed up to the next press conference with a stack of $40,000 in cash. Then he beat Michael Chandler. And I think that was easily Paddy Pimblett's best
Nobody does that.
Yeah, nobody beats, except for the 6 other guys that beat Chandler, man. At the UFC level. Nobody's beaten Chandler like that. So very impressive. And then he goes out there and he loses to Gaethje. And we can certainly forgive him for that after what we saw from Gaethje last time out. But I don't think he's going to be able to grapple with Saint Denis in terms of the wrestling. Now, of course, with the submission grappling, that's a different story because both these guys are very talented there. And like you said, Benoit Saint Denis is sloppy. He's defensively irresponsible in all aspects of MMA. So if he makes a mistake on the ground, Paddy Pimblett's the kind of guy who could punish him for that. But I think Benoit's going to win the minutes on the feet because he does more and he's got better long-range weapons. I think Benoit Saint Denis is the better offensive wrestler, capable of controlling where this fight takes place. And Paddy Pimblett lost 3 rounds to Jared Gordon, who's looked like dog shit since. So I'm going with Benoit Saint Denis, man. I don't give a shit about the staff. Dude, Benoit Saint Denis doesn't get staff, Brady. Staff gets Benoit Saint Denis.
That's true.
That's the way it goes, dude. This guy's the god of war, Paddy Pimblett's the god of getting easy fights made for him by a ruling class of the UFC that's rooting for him. Plus I'm fucking sick of Dave Portnoy. That guy can eat a dick as far as I'm concerned. So I would love to see a fighter that he's, supporting and sponsoring lose, because that guy's a fucking fake, just like Molly McCann was the other fighter that he supported. And I don't like that dude. So I hope Dave Portnoy winds up crying in his beer after this fight. So yeah, I'm going with Benoit Saint Denis. Viva la France. France is going to win the World Cup. They're going to win this one here.
Hey.
And I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to finish this fool. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm going Paddy though. I don't think BSD is going to finish him, man. I don't know. A lot of people are thinking that. I don't know. I'd be surprised. I don't know.
I would too, because admittedly they're both extremely durable. I'm just going with my, I never liked this guy.
Yeah, I know.
And I've been a huge Benoit Saint Denis fan since day one. So I'm going to be backing him here.
Yeah, you might get a good number, especially. I mean, if that those staff pictures that went like viral, man, and so you might get plus money even. So we'll see.
Yeah.
BSD has staff again. Hammer Paddy. Yeah, but he always has staff.
Always.
Complete crapshoot of a fight, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a BSD fight, man. It's a BSD fight. BSD kept on shooting straight into front chokes against Hooker. Yeah, that's why I think Patty's going to have some opportunities. I think Patty should win if it stays on the feet. I don't think it's staying on the feet, though. Patty sub price plus 650. I don't know. Can't read this fight, but it's gonna be a banger. Play Patty sub plus 700. It's a good bet. He's gonna probably get at least 3 or 4 submission attempts. I mean, if Hooker can get 2 or 3, and if Poirier can get 5, I think BSD's gonna attempt a couple. Patty on top is vicious. I see Patty sliming out BSD by TKO. Top 10 fight of the year on paper. I can't wait for this fight. It's gonna be fun, man. I bet Patty early. I'm feeling confident in his durability. Keep hearing about BSD's durability. I don't care about that. Neither of these guys want to see Patrick mix on the. I don't know about that, man. No, it should be 5 rounds.
Yeah.
BSD is such a stiff, plodding marauder. He is a marauder. Laid major chalk against Hooker. He kept on getting hurt by body kicks and putting himself into the guillotine. I know. I had a big bet on BSD. I was like, what are you doing, dude? But he finally ended up getting the finish there. BSD's new coach, Nicholas Ott, seems to be on the rise too. Maybe. I think it wasn't Farazim with him. Farazim left Nicholas Ott in the team.
Yeah, it worked out great for him this time around.
Yeah, he finally he left there, and then Nicholas Ott. We got Sugar with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Sugar. Sunday Stat Diggers is back. Where can I get the best line on my parlay? Durden by Pinky Toe KO, McKenny by Patience, and Connor by definitely on a. I got to wait for the onshore books to get their lines down.
If you parlay all 3, man, you're gonna absolutely smack on that one. That would be a good one.
Appreciate you. Wheezy hitting Portnoy is an interesting twist. I don't mind Portnoy. I mean, he does the pizza reviews. I don't hate him. I don't love him. BSD's cardio was sus, man. Patty took a beating and kept coming, bro. I don't know. Played Patty plus 130 and sub plus 700. Brady and Uncle Weezy, what do we think of the Dutton Ranch season finale? We're talking about that next show. You're
gonna have to stay tuned for the watch along, my friend. And then you're gonna find out, because Brady and I got big thoughts on it. We did not see the Dutton Ranch season finale going in that direction. I got to tell you, we were as surprised by that as we were by Mike Jackson, losing to Dean Barry.
Exactly.
Well, wait, no, he beat Dean Barry. Yeah, Dean Barry losing to Mike Jackson. We were that surprised.
Yeah, DQ. I wasn't really surprised, to be honest. I mean,
neither was I, actually.
That was horrible. All right, let's get into the main event. Before we do so, we have 712 of you guys watching between X and YouTube. Do us a favor, smash the like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, hit the retweet for us. Why not? Retweet the tweet, get it out there, let people know that we're no longer going on Mondays. I kind of felt like a pussy, to be honest, when we were going on Mondays that late. Kind of felt like a big pussy, but it feels good to be back on Sunday, being one of the first shows out there, kind of set the tone for the MMA community, if you will. So glad to be back on Sundays. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. All right, main event. We have Conor McGregor going against Max Holloway. We got Conor, 37 years old, 5'9", with a 74-inch reach. Holloway, 34 years old, 5'11", with a 69-inch reach. We got Holloway 3 years younger, 2-inch height advantage, and a 5-inch reach disadvantage. Conor McGregor is 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Eddie Alvarez. Submission loss to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Knockout win against Donald Cerrone. Knockout loss to Dustin Poirier, and then another knockout loss to Dustin Poirier. As far as Max Holloway, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against the Korean Zombie. Knockout win against Justin Gaethje. Knockout loss to Topuria. Decision win against Dustin Poirier, and then a decision loss against Charles Oliveira. So, I mean, for me, it's simple. I mean, there's no way I can't go with Max here. I mean, Conor McGregor's been out for so long. He's been out for 5 years. He has 1 win in like the last 9 years. He's coming off of a major injury. Even when he came back against Poirier, it's like he didn't look great, and that was 5 years ago. And you're telling me he's going to come back 5 years later and knock out the most durable guy in UFC history in round one? I mean, that's his path for sure. I mean, he's going to get opportunities, but he's going to go out there and knock out the most durable guy ever in round one. I don't know. And if he doesn't, he's gonna get cooked. I mean, I doubt McGregor is coming in here with more than like 7.5 minutes of cardio. So yeah, he's gonna have to catch Max early, puncher's chance. But I just hate the circumstances surrounding this fight. So yeah, for me, it's Holloway. I'm surprised. I don't want to say I'm surprised by the line movement because it's Conor McGregor, but yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Holloway would be like minus 500 here, and he actually opened at minus 500. But it's been nothing but McGregor money coming in. So, yeah, I'll go Max, and I'm going to be forced to bet Max here because I think he should be a much bigger favorite. I mean, if you like Connor, I would take the KO1, which is like plus 850 best price. But outside of a KO1, outside of it being a fixed rigged fight, I think Holloway, maybe a competitive first round, but starts to take over, put it on, and finishes Connor. I think it will take no longer than a couple rounds. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this main event? Are you the one steaming Conor McGregor to a pick'em? Is that you?
I hope it gets there, man. Like somebody in my Discord was saying today that Max Holloway is on the cover of the new UFC game, and that whoever gets put on the cover of the game goes on to lose their next fight. And I was saying in the Discord, wow, that sounds like the best reason to bet Conor McGregor, because you got to look pretty far to find any kind of valid reason to bet a cocaine addict on a 5-year layoff who hasn't won since January of 2020. I don't think he's even been a real fighter for 10 years. Listen to this, right? He gets a win over Eddie Alvarez. And I remember during that fight thinking to myself, how the hell is Eddie Alvarez, how did he get to win the belt? And then Conor took time off just so he could fight that guy moving up in weight class. He gets that win. That's the last real win of his career, was 2016. Then he takes 2 years off, Brady. 2 years. Goes back to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, loses that fight. Then he takes a year and a half off. Remember, this is a guy who's literally getting paid, 7-8 figures just to show up. And he's not even fighting more than once every year and a half. He goes and he fights Donald Cerrone for about 45 seconds, gets a win, and then takes a year off again, loses to Dustin Poirier, and then rushes back to the cage, only waits 6 months, and then literally breaks his leg and gets finished. Now here we are 5 years later. God knows how many lines of cocaine later. God knows how many bad decisions later. The guy's I mean, that one, the stand you base thing where he's at that, he's being paid to promote something. If you were to watch that hour-long live stream, I got to tell you, man, I lived in a fraternity house between 1992 and 1997 with myself and 55 other drug addicts, Brady. 55 young men between the ages of 18 and 23 who made nothing but bad decisions, who did nothing but drugs and alcohol, who really was just, it was just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. And I still don't know anybody from my house that partied like that. We didn't have money. We were broke. This guy has had access to as much drugs at any time as he could ever possibly want. He's out there making really bad decisions in real life. This guy's entire last 5 years of his life has been miracle after miracle that he's even still alive. Max Holloway has fought Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, who he beat, Ilya Topuria, Justin Gaethje, and Chan Sung Jung over his last 5 fights, and that's between 2023 and today. So he's had 8 fights actually, since the last time Conor even stepped into the octagon, and he hasn't even looked good in the octagon since he fought Donald Cerrone back in 2020 who was actually done with his career pretty much at that point. So I don't know what reasons people are coming up with to bet on Conor McGregor here, but if it's a fixed fight, maybe he wins. You know, if Holloway gets paid to take a dive, maybe Conor wins. But if this is a fair mixed martial arts fight, I mean, Conor has zero chance.
You don't want to say that. You don't want to say zero.
I mean, dude, Brady, you've never done hard drugs. You got to take it from the man below you on the screen who has made some bad decisions in my life. I know for a fact, Brady, I know for a 100% fact that this guy's got a 0% chance to win this fight unless it's fixed, because if I had ever done that many drugs, I would be dead today.
Yeah.
Conor's lucky he's not. This dude's 38. If you're doing cocaine in your late 30s, that's bad. That's bad. None of those people are going to go on to do great things in their 50s, Brady. Those kind of decisions are really, those kind of bad decisions are really saved for your late teens and early 20s. If you're making bad decisions like that 15 years after you're out of college, shit ain't turning around for you, nephew. I can promise you that. Max Holloway is going to be a big bet this week.
I already have 5.6 units on the fight, and I might add more. I mean, we'll see. There's just so much stuff I like here.
Yeah.
In this fight. So, yeah. I mean, if Conor wins a decision, I'm getting rinsed. If Conor wins a decision, I might lose 10 units on the fight.
If Conor wins it a decision, it'll be the most blatantly fixed fight that's ever happened. To suggest that he's going to have more cardio now than he did back in 2014 when he fought Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
You know, yes, like that was 12 years ago when he gassed out in round 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pre-cocaine Conor.
Yeah, one back.
He had no cardio in 2014, and now he's been doing cocaine for 5 years.
Yep. So yeah, if Conor wins the decision, I'm getting rinsed. Max round 2 and round 3 are awesome. I can't believe Max money line is still playable. It might get even better. It might. We'll see. I mean, how good can it get though? I don't know. We'll see. Conor may just fold round 1. Under 2.5 is solid. Yeah, I don't hate the under 2.5. It's like a pick 'em. I don't hate that. Even though like Max is not some early finisher, but like you said, Conor might only have like a couple minutes of cardio.
Yeah.
So it could be under 2.5 could be a good look. Is this a Max bet on Max? Maybe. We'll see. We got Andre Fiallo in the building. Good to see you in here. We got the Hood Wolf saying, I have my biggest bet of all time on Max, minus 200. I'd price Max more like minus 400. Yeah, same. Same. Stay in your base. Yeah, he's gonna try to hit Max Holloway with the what is it? He's gonna grab him by the scruff of his chest. He has no scruff on his chest, right?
He doesn't. That's the thing, you know. So I don't think that's gonna work for him. And if he doesn't have that trick, I don't know what's left in the toolbox for Conor at this point, man.
Max doesn't have no scruff. I don't think he's ever had any scruff on his chest. As a former cocaine addict, I'm telling you, McGregor has 3 minutes of pure aura prime, Conor, or less. Bet the farm on way. Yeah, I think it's a couple minutes.
Anybody who's ever done that drug for extended stretches of time, Brady, they're going to be betting on Max Holloway. I'm telling you.
I like we're getting some inside information here. I like this. Conor is KO1 or bust. Max wants his revenge. I have to bet major units on him in this one, especially at minus 200 or cheaper. Conor is ultra hyper wash. Yeah, I think so too, but we'll see. Come on, Weezy. I have a Max bet, but JJ was getting blackout drunk and doing lines all night before title defenses.
I don't know if he was doing
John
that.
Jones?
I don't know if John Jones was doing that, but you know, John Jones is a different kind of athlete. You know, like John Jones comes from one of those families where literally his 2 other brothers are elite athletes at the highest level just like John is. He's got, like, John, I don't think he did drugs because it was about bad decisions. I think he was just bored. I think he was just that much better than literally everybody on the planet, that he would say to himself, you know what? Let's see if I can go out drinking tequila every night and then go out and beat Daniel Cormier. You know, I don't think, and plus, he, you know, it's not like we're asking John Jones to come back now and do that to, you know, Tom Aspinall, for instance.
I got some breaking news here.
What's that?
Some sick news. They did it, Weezy. They did the old, we're going to add a late fight to the card on Sunday night.
Oh, yeah, great. What do you got? Fareed Basharat against some nobody from the regional scene?
Yeah, you nailed it. In steps John Garza, the Mowgli.
I feel like I've heard of that guy. John Garza. Is he an LFA guy?
John the Mowgli. I haven't heard of him.
I feel like I've seen somebody with a Garza recently. No, he's a Fury FC guy. Last fight was against Josh Walker, who I've heard of. And he was just supposed to fight at the end of June, but both fighters got and he was supposed to fight August 14th against Abdul Kamara in Fury FC. So he was already in camp training for a fight.
Oh, gosh. He lost to Gilbert Malara, the Samurai. Subbed him. That would knock him out. Oh, gosh. He got knocked out by the Samurai.
Extensive amateur career, too. 2021 to 2023. 7-3 amateur career.
So annoying. Basharat to be minus 1,000. Oh, gosh. Oh. Bookie's going to get back all the money they lost on Gaethje when Conor loses. Yeah, if Conor loses, the bookies are going to clean the heck up, man. John Jones bet the farm on Max. Did he? I don't know. So many people Max betting Max, and the lines keep closing on McGregor. If this is rigged, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, me too. Better not be rigged. I got Garza as the 25th prospect worldwide. That's pretty good. His boxing is excellent, so Fareed is going to have to get his singlet ready. He'll get it ready for sure. Okay.
He's always got it ready.
Y'all are going to like his tape. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wish I could have taped it like during the off week. That'd be nice. But yep. Another so is that 14 fights now on this card? I think it's
that'll be the 14th fight. Yeah. Because we just broke down 13.
Woo.
Yep.
Does Max Holloway like steak? I don't know if Max likes steak though. Max doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to throw a fight though.
And he doesn't strike me as that either, but Brady, the amount of money that they would offer him to throw the fight would be the kind of thing where, you know, like if you went to your wife and you said they just offered me this much money to abuse my legacy, your wife would be like, fuck your legacy. We're cashing that check. You know, trust me.
But he's also going to get paid a lot to win, you know. Don't be too greedy.
Yeah.
You know? Don't be too greedy. All right. So what we'll do now is we're going to do the piping of the week, and we'll do the milking of the week. It's a big card. We can do 2 pipings. Want to do 2 pipings?
Why not?
All right. So what we'll do is we'll let you guys vote for the piping, and then we'll just take the top 2. We'll do piping number 1, and then we'll do piping number 2. So let me pull this up. All right, Wheezy. So you'll give a choice. I'll give a choice, and then we'll let the people vote. Make sure you guys vote. Make sure you guys vote. Don't be lazy. Let's get in the chat and let's vote. All right, Wheezy. Who is your first option for potential piping of the week?
I'm gonna go with Adrian Yanez to pipe Cody Garbrandt on site.
Okay. Pipe their opponent on site. All right, so Adrian Yanez, or Yanez, I should say, for some reason. All right, let's start down at the bottom. We can go Gondra. Could go Alessandro Costa. There's a lot of freaking options, dude. Gable Steveson. I'm gonna go with I'll go Alessandro Costa for the next option.
Yep. Okay. Here's an option that I don't really like all that much, but I know the chat is going to like it as a potential option. If your name is Penis, people think that you might be piping somebody on site. So I think that Damian Penis to pipe Cesar Almeida on site is a good option for the chat. Although I think that fight's going to play out kind of close.
And I will go with Ryan Gondra. So 2 pipings of the week. Make sure you guys get your votes in. And yeah, Max has to be a piping option. Yeah, you could pipe. You could also milk. I like Gondra KO1 and Penis KO1. Yeah, I think that's both how they win. Wong to pipe a depressed Cortez. Oh gosh. 188 watching, 30. If we had 30 likes, I would turn it off right now. You got to refresh it. Sometimes you got to refresh, man. We don't have 30 likes. That'd be embarrassing. We have 119. So there we go.
Pretty good.
121. If we had 30 likes, we had to cancel the show. I think this is a nice hot take here. If a StreamYard would work.
Yeah. Yeah, it could happen, man. Connor might realize at some point.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. Connor might realize at some point that what's going on?
Hoopy is the backup.
Yeah, I like that. Because you never know if Connor might pull out. So
yeah, I think I would take Hoofy against both of them, to be honest. They're both not going to grapple Hoofy, and Hoofy looks incredible on the feed. So I think I'd take Hoofy against both. But hopefully Connor shows up. Yeah, I would have been mad too if we only had 30 likes. That'd been crazy. I feel like Max has to win. Wouldn't it be kind of embarrassing? I kind of think so. It would be pretty embarrassing. Cortez has been getting piped left and right. So yeah, maybe we should have put Wong Kong, because this is a good point. Cortez has been getting piped by everybody outside the cage.
Outside the cage. That's the thing. This is an inside the cage piping that we're talking about, though. And from a potential woman.
Yeah, maybe she should be she could be the outside the cage piping of the week.
Yeah.
But inside the cage, I don't think so. All right. So let me pull up the results here. Let's see who's going to get piped on site.
Let's go.
I'm going to pull them up on my phone. Here we go.
All right.
The people have spoken. And the results are in. 2 pipings. All right. Here we go. All right. In 4th place, the guy that lost via pinky toe TKO.
Alessandro
Costa. In 3rd place, Ryan Gondra. In 2nd place, Damian Penis. And then in 1st place, Adrian Yanez. So the piping of the week number 1 is going to be Adrian Yanez, Weezy.
All right. Minus 410 favorite against the washed Cody Garbrandt with a dust chin. Probably going to be a good opportunity for Yanez to get a finish win.
All right. So the piping of the week number 1 is Adrian. Hopefully Cody doesn't run around, though, for 15 minutes. Yanez to pipe. Cody, no love on the site. All right, so that's the piping of number 1 is going to be Adrian Yanez to pipe Cody no love on site. So yes. Piping number 2 is going to be Damian Penis to pipe Cesar Almeida on site. So this is the first in Stat Diggers history. We're going to have 2 pipings. The piping number 2 is going to be Damian Penis to pipe Cesar Almeida on site. Piping number 1 is going to be Adrian Yanez to pipe Cody No Love on site. So 2 pipings. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2. Stat Diggers viewers love Penis. Yeah, it seems like it with the amount of votes you got. I can see Cody finishing Yanez. That'd be crazy. What if Penis pipes Cortez? You never know. It could happen. You can heck happen, man. I think Giannis is the safest pick. I see him getting the KO late 2-3. I hope so. I'm curious to see what his KO prop's going to be. I picked Goner to be different, but Giannis should pipe on site. Yeah, he should. Penis to shave ass. Oh gosh. We'll see. All right. Now it is time for the milking here. And we got a couple options for milking. Let's see. So we can go not really. I mean, oh crap, dude. A piping that I forgot about. Terrence McKinney.
I was thinking that milking though.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking maybe he takes him down and milks him, but like that could definitely be. I mean, with Terrence, it could be either.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's go Terrence for the milking then. All right, who is going to milk their opponent? Terrence McKinney. I'm going to go Max Holloway.
Max Holloway, yeah. I think that's a good option. And I'm looking for some Chinese milk. I want some China milk. Tracy Cortez could easily milk the Chinese kickboxer and wind up winning a duration-based decision there with takedowns and top time.
I like it. And then one more. I'll throw Gable out there. I think it's gonna be a quick milking. I think it might be like a 60-second milking, but it counts
if there's
as a milking
in Elijah's body, Gable's gonna find it.
Oh, there's milk. There's milk for sure.
Yeah,
so
I
Gable,
think so.
Stevenson. All right. So let's see who's going to milk their opponent. While you guys vote, we are going to talk some Underdog. The best way to support the show, guys, is to check out Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy, use code DFSBTN. You'll get $50 free in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. So not only are you supporting me and Wheezy, you're supporting yourself. You're getting 50 free bucks. And they also got, bonuses on there. They got, what do you call them? Like boost. They got boost on there. I haven't checked them, see if they have boost. They're probably gonna have a nice boost for $3.29. So check it out. Use that code. Helps us out. If you guys have friends, family, loved ones, have them check it out. Have them check out Underdog. It helps us a lot. Right now, they got out everything, Weezy. So is there anything that caught your eye for Underdog?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of obvious ones, and I'm going to give you one of the most obvious ones that you could.
Don't take mine.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll go with the other one then.
What was the obvious one? Maybe it wasn't the.
Well, because it was yours. It was the under 1.5 rounds for the Terrence McKinney fight.
Yep.
so that's going to be Brady's leg, and my leg. There are two that I like, but I'm going to go with the significant strikes under 6.5 for Elijah Ellison.
Yes.
Because, I'd be surprised if he landed 2. I really would. And even if he were to get 5, I'd be like, whoa, that's a lot. Because I think Gable's going to be able to take this guy down whenever he wants. And once he gets on top of it, on top of Elijah, I think it's going to be over pretty quickly. But the other one that I did play, and I put in a 40% boost, which is available right now on Underdog. I went Terrence McKinney less than 7.5 minutes, lower. We got lower than 6.5 significant strikes for Elijah Ellison, and I'm going with over 1.5 takedowns for Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I like it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put something in this week. It probably the Ellison. No, yeah, Ellison lower than 6.5 significant strikes. McKinney lower than 7.5 fight time. What else do I like here? Yeah, I do like that Saint Denis. Like Saint Denis could probably get 2 takedowns in the first minute.
I think he always shoots.
Yeah.
He always shoots, except for obviously in the Moicano fight, like that was a different type of fight. And he was the one that got taken down in round 1. So I think he's going to try to take down Patty.
Oh yeah, for sure. Patty saw an interview with Patty. Patty thinks he's not going to try to take him down, which I disagree with. I think he is going to try to take down Patty Pimblett. All right. So yeah, guys, use the code. It would help us out a ton. We appreciate it. We've had 30 signups since we started doing that. So we appreciate the 30 people that sign up. That's awesome. Let's get to 50. Let's get to 50.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go and see who's going to milk their opponent. All right. Wow. In last place, Terrence McKinney.
Wow.
13%.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we probably should have put him as the piping. Dang it. Wow. Max Holloway, third place at 20%.
Okay.
In place, Tracy Cortez. And then in first place, it's Gable Stevenson, 37%. So Gable Stevenson's going to milk Elijah Ellison this Saturday. What do you think? There's a lot of good options there, so it's tough.
Yeah, it's several good options. There's a few that could be these could be some one-sided fights this week. That is for sure. But we're gonna have to see who's gonna wind up surprising us, because we always get surprised in one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a big surprise if they mess this one up. I tried my best on the spelling there.
Elijah Hash. Yeah, and he's probably gonna look like he was smoking hash out there, because that dude is pretty slow. And I think Gable's going to make him look even slower. So, yeah.
There we go. 130. We're back. It's a Sunday show. We're back. Let's go. Feels good to be back. 130 likes. We'll take it. Penis could pipe Cortez. You never know. I mean, we could see it. All right, guys. We did it. We are almost 3 hours in. Wheezy, any final thoughts on the card, and also let people know where they can find you and how they can support you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great card. Anything when you got a Conor McGregor main event is going to bring so many more eyes to the product that it usually has. So I'm excited for Conor McGregor making his return for the first time since July 10th, 2021. So it's going to be a great card. You can find me on YouTube at Uncle Wheezy. You can find me on Rumble at Uncle Wheezy. You can find me on X at MMA Wheezy. You can find my probability stats and content package on oddshopper.com. That's where you get access to all my stats, all my slideshow presentations, my fight write-ups, all the analytics and betting models and all that stuff. That's the best way to support my work. And let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks on this UFC 329 card, Brady. We're going to get to see whether Conor can go bop, 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 maybe 1-2 more times before he's done fighting. So it's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait for it.
There we go. Thank you all for hanging out. Smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. So like I said, we're going live every Sunday at 7:15. Besides next week. Next week, I can't. I won't be back until like late Sunday night. So next week it'll be Monday, but after that, Sunday's going forward. So check that out. All right. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Best of luck for UFC 329. It's gonna be a great card, and we'll talk to you guys later. See you.